Let me be the first to say TGIF.
I'll be second.
Good morning. I'm Reeford Brown.
I'm Kelly now.
And I'm Lee Barrows.
How are you ladies this morning? Besides chilly on the outside,
I
it's kind
am
of warm in here.
happy
Oh,
for
you're all
various
dressed
reasons.
like the Bob C. triplets or something.
Go Cards. And
Yeah,
look, I
go
even
cards.
have
Today is.
My,
You have little Jacksonville socks on.
I have my
Look at you.
Jacksonville Cardinal socks on too.
Oh my goodness gracious! Those are Superman socks.
No, they're just.
They say JHS or something.
Well, last week we had a whole bunch of Supermen
Yeah,
on the field, so tonight we're going to repeat that.
They're my lucky socks.
Well, good. I need to wear the same ones because last couple of games that were questionable. It's the first time I wore no socks, and we came out really well. So I'll be wearing those again tonight.
Oh, there you go.
They got washed though.
Well, I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, me too.
Well, just once again, thank you, Principal Herman, for our shirts.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, from Jacksonville High School,
Yes.
delivered by the one. Can you imagine making the superintendent of schools your delivery guy?
I thought I was very impressed.
I was too. He was.
Of course, he's an impressive man
It was
anyway.
very nice. So
yes.
anyway, they got some stuff together, and I think I'll run by today. And if I get a chance to run by there, hopefully they got some more left. Maybe I'll pick up a matching sweatshirt for Robbie because we're going to be out there tonight in the cold.
Yes.
Not as cold, but in the cold.
Well, I looked to
It'll be chilly.
see if I could find more beanies like the one I have for the cards, and
Oh,
I haven't been able to find any because I was going to get her one.
didn't she have one? I don't know what she's.
No,
got.
she not a cardinal beanie. But it was around the first game this year that we went to,
Uh-huh.
and they had all the bling out there, and that's when we both bought a jacket, and then I think I got
It was
the
kind
beanie
of
then.
warm during those games for me to go
Yes.
buying anything that was thinking about cold weather.
I know I had to stock up.
Yeah, well, okay. It is Cardinal time, and so it should be. Hopefully, I'm counting on it. A whole heap of fun out
Yes.
tonight, and a whole lot of fun for us. And I will give condolences to the 71st high school team.
Let's go ahead and get that out
Yeah,
of
let's
the
get
way.
it done right now. Get it done right now. It is Friday. It is the 13th of
Yes.
December. It is Friday the 13th. There are reports that we have an advanced team from the JHS already there. They're waiting and have been casting spells all night long since midnight when it turned the 13th on 71st.
I didn't even think about it being Friday the 13th.
Hoping to gain a little good luck
Yeah.
before the Eastern Regional 3A semifinal round of high school football this evening. It's great to see people like we saw in the fans last week get excited about high school football. I get excited about all local sports, and I'd rather watch them. I like them
I do
than to watch
too.
it on TV.
Well, I keep up with it through Chris Miller's X account.
I'm pretty sure those are the underdogs are Cardinals.
That's
Okay.
what people
I'm
are
pretty
saying.
sure we're going to be upset. We're going to get ready the returning champions, and if our Cardinals play like they did last week to pull this one off, are looking pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
We just got to be careful where they eat tonight. Make sure they don't go somewhere where the other teams' backers know where they're going to be. The other teams wouldn't do it to each other, but you know how people can be. People like me, we can be devious, right?
Well, I'm sure they'll have their salads and carbohydrates before they leave here. So
Yeah, a couple of
they need the carbohydrates.
bloody red ribeyes would be good. They need
Well, that sounds so
all
good.
the strength they could get.
I need to go grocery shopping and find something good to eat, but I just get in the and I go, I
Oh,
don't want
yeah.
anything.
No, you don't.
I've not been eating very healthy lately because I just go in there and I'm just like, I'm not paying $25 for a little steak for one thing.
No, I can get a
I'm
good
tired
steak.
of chicken.
I get a good. Oh yeah, and turkey. I can get a really good steak at our friend's place down there in Swansburg.
Yes,
Burrow.
you can.
The Barrow's got some really good steaks. Believe it or not, they got some wonderful ribeyes. They cook them in a
Yes.
cast iron.
Yes.
Cooker.
That time we all went, that was the
Ooh.
first time I had gotten a steak there, and it was
Juicy.
very tasty, juicy.
Chances are, y'all don't remember the name Crystal Mangum, do you?
I know exactly what I was going to bring it up if you didn't. So
Yeah.
go ahead and do it.
Crystal Mangum. Pretty good. You
Yes.
know part of her story.
Yep.
We're going to tell you the other part here.
Mhm.
Back in 2006, little Crystal was a stripper Hey,
Mhm.
stripper. Hey, honey. And was apparently hired to perform at a party attended by Duke University's lacrosse team.
Yes.
Yep, now you remember. All y'all remember.
Mhm.
She claimed that 3 members of that team raped her during the party. The district attorney pushed the case really hard in spite of sketchy and uncorroborated evidence, virtually relying on the complainant's word exclusively. A major story in the day, as Crystal is black. Former Durham County District Attorney Mike Nefong, who served as the lead prosecutor in the case as well, said in a March 2006 network news interview that there's no doubt a sexual assault took place. What? He said that.
Yeah.
And that it was racially motivated. He said that too.
He did.
Nifong and Crystal got a
Mhm.
lot of national attention. The 3 lacrosse players, David Evans, Colin Finnerty, and Reed Seligman, were all found not guilty of the crimes.
Yes.
But Mangum was not prosecuted for perjury due to questions about her mental health.
She's a
If you
murderer.
have questions about the mental health, would you not consider her being the only witness in this case, making the claim,
Sure.
and nothing else to corroborate that? Would you not give serious thought about trying to go forward with the prosecution?
Yeah.
Not that they should not investigate up one side and down the other, but she was not prosecuted for perjury. As for good old Crystal, 4 years later, she went to the jailhouse and she remains in prison. She killed her boyfriend and is serving time for his murder. Until
Yeah.
yesterday, she had maintained all along that she was definitely raped. Her story did not hold water. It was discredited. Have anybody heard from Nifong lately?
Well, he does not resign because he
Uh-huh.
lied about evidence.
Uh-huh. It
What a
was-
piece
it
of
was-
crap he
uh-huh.
is.
During the whole scandal, the team had to cancel a game against Georgetown in March of
Yeah.
2 years after the allegations. They had to cancel this game against Georgetown because of the support for what was sold as a rape victim.
Mm-hmm.
They had people protesting.
Yep.
In an interview with an independent media outlet this week, it was actually yesterday, Mangum finally fessed up, admitting that she made up the story.
She lied.
During the interview, she said, I testified falsely against them by saying that they raped me when they didn't, and that was wrong. And I betrayed the trust of a lot of other people who believed in me. I made up a story that was not true because I wanted validation from people and not from God. What?
I don't know what that means, but yeah.
In spite of the fact that a jury did not buy her story and the players were cleared, many people across the country thought the 3 young men got away with the crime. As it turns out, 18 years later, a crime that they did not commit.
Mhm.
There was no crime
Can you imagine the life they have had
for the last
to
18
live
years.
with those accusations
Yes.
over top of their head and people just kind of like judging them and
Almost half of their lives,
Yes.
almost half of it
right.
has been spent under a cloud of suspicion, regardless of what the guilty or not guilty verdict was.
But they'll never get a dime from her for anything.
it doesn't
But I
matter
would
yet.
take that as
I would
civil
sue the district
suit.
attorney's
I
office.
think some of that's been done.
Yeah,
I
I
don't know
would
that they'll ever
sue.
get anywhere.
I'd sue the
Nope.
state.
And because the state did not go after her on perjury charges at the time, the
Mhm.
reasoning at the time, of course, that her mental health officials thought she had mental issues. The statute of limitations has
does.
since expired, and she will never be charged.
Nope.
She's the one that got away with it.
Exactly.
Mhm.
She's the one that got said, wow, those 3 young men have had to live with us for what, the past 18 years
18
since
years.
they were accused.
18
I remember
years.
when that happened. It was,
Yeah, she also made statements back in 1993 or 94. Did you know about that part? Against her
can't say that I
stepfather
no, I
when she
did
was
not
like
know that.
13 or 14, that he raped her.
She's
Not
a real
true.
piece of work, isn't she?
Not true. He was never tried for it.
Well,
It's not true.
She went into the porno business too, wasn't she?
I don't know.
an alleged-
She's a stripper. I
A
don't know
stripper.
whether
There
she's
you go.
porn or not.
Okay. Well, it's pretty close.
Well, not necessarily. Strippers are not necessarily porn folks.
No.
They take their clothes off, don't they, for money?
Yeah, but a lot of them don't even are not.
No.
They just do that.
It's right in there
for-
with the same realm of occupations that, you know.
I know some strippers that make a lot of money.
Well, let's just go a little bit further.
Yeah,
Let's go back to
go ahead.
Colorado. You came up with something this morning.
Yes, I did. Talking about the sheriff's deputy.
A female,
Oh, yeah.
21 years.
41 years of age or something.
21 years with the sheriff's office in Arapahoe.
Uh-huh. That's in
Colorado.
Colorado, not up
Right.
here in
Not
North
here.
Carolina. She failed to tell the sheriff that she needed money and was going to get a second job. That was her only offense, apparently. Not becoming a porn queen.
She was.
She probably would have been fired or been
I'm
told,
sure.
or would have been told not to do it. And then if she had done it, then she would have been fired. But the offense that she committed was she failed to tell the sheriff that she had a
working
second job.
part-time,
Had a second
right.
job.
Well, I know a lot of county jobs, county agency jobs. You have to let them know
Oh,
if
yeah,
you're going to work
absolutely.
a second job.
And-
Yeah,
and
enforcement,
especially in law
even in county government, even just
conflicts of interest there.
yeah.
At
I
one
would
time,
imagine it would depend on what your job was. Yeah.
When I worked for the county years ago, if we wanted a second job, we had to ask permission and tell them what the job was.
Mhm.
And as far as my understanding, Onslow County's rules about that have not changed.
yeah, well,
We'll have to check that. I'd like to know what they say about
and some
that.
other
yeah.
places, off-duty police officers were hired to work security.
Yeah, they're law
Oh.
enforcement officers. I see that.
Yeah, well, they were hired to work security, but they had to get permission because, working security as a bouncer at a bar, the doorman, or whatever.
Well, at
That-
one time, the Private Protective Services Board here in the state of North Carolina, and it was written in their paperwork, it was written in their site there that if you were a sworn law enforcement officer and you were working security, you could not wear the badge or use the equipment of the agency that you worked for
Yep.
while you were working security, which they did anyway. I didn't have a problem with it. We had a lot of deputies at one time working for us.
Mhm. They're, they could wear just regular clothes.
Yes, but they
The-
cannot
the
wear.
police agency
Right.
won't let them wear their uniforms.
Right. But we had deputies that came out in their full uniform, Onslow County, Sheriff's Office uniform, badge, gun, and everything that worked security for us.
Oh, did they?
Yeah. And that's the way they dressed. But
What kind
according,
of security were they working?
they could have been working at a ball game
Okay.
or, graduation.
Even in Wilmington, of course, it got to be really a big deal because they were off-duty officers were hired and they went through the city
Yes.
for the police department.
Yes.
And they went through the city police department to hire these individuals. The movie studios did to work traffic control, and
Right.
to work other security and all
understandable.
that sort of good stuff there because they closed streets and things.
Right.
And they didn't want just the police officers who were working on duty.
Hmm.
So they would actually furnish a police officer. They contracted their own department,
Right.
contracted, and the officer got paid. And then they would get overtime pay.
Right.
So it was a pretty good gig.
Well,
for them.
when we hired them to extra help, we paid them. The county
Right,
did
yep.
not. But see, the reason why that rule was in place is because you're working private security, but you've got the county's uniform on. And what if something happened that you were involved in, that it could go back onto the sheriff's office because he was in the uniform?
Well, if he took
That's
action,
why that was in place.
if he or she takes action, they're still cops 24/7.
That's right.
So if they take action,
I had no problem with it. I'll
Then-
bring them all on.
then they will they can make arrests there.
Yes.
and they do
Yeah.
so. They have.
Yep.
I'm sure the guys that work for your company did.
We could detain, but we could not
No,
say
I'm
you're
talking
under
about
arrest.
the deputies that
Right.
work.
Oh yeah,
They
yeah.
can make the arrest
Shoot,
right
yeah,
now.
I say bring them all on.
Mhm.
But they had to make money. Of course, the sheriff was aware that they were working
Sure.
private security at the same time. So.
Shelby didn't have too much problem with that in those days.
No, not whatsoever.
Today's marine weather forecast, a courtesy of Community Prevention Services of Jacksonville. We got less than 2 weeks, y'all. 2 weeks to shop. Let's hop to it.
Yeah.
We don't have all month now. Get on with it. Christmas is going to be ruined if you don't get out there. I can't afford to buy a lot of stuff, and I know that Aunt B has everything in perfect order. You and I might suck at this Christmas thing. Does that sound like the voices in your head?
Uh,
Probably not in y'all's. It's on
mm,
the minds of a lot of folks out there. The thing is, you should never feel guilty about not being in a position to buy gifts. Nothing to feel guilty about. There should be no feeling of requirement that you've got to go out and, mortgage the house.
right.
Honestly, how are you supposed to know what Annie B wants anyway?
I say if you're going to give with your heart,
Mhm.
be peaceful about it, and go on.
Christmas, as well as other in a negative way, but it's
agree.
up to the individual family members to reach some sort of an agreement as to what's expected, just to cut down on stress level. For instance, in the immediate family, my group,
Yes.
there are no adults going to exchange gifts with each other. None.
Right.
Kids, they get them. That's all.
I have.
That's the way we feel, though.
Yeah.
I've got too much stuff over here. We're still throwing stuff away, and the dumpsters are getting filled
Put
up
it in
all
a
the
gift
time.
bag.
Yeah, there you go.
Put it in a gift bag.
Or put it in a box and put it on the front porch. Somebody will steal it.
Yeah. Very
If
true.
you can't talk about it with your family, sometimes that's just the way it is. If you're uptight about it, then you might find it easier to reach out to a neutral source. The counselors at Community Prevention Services deal with complex issues every day. They'll be glad to help you develop a plan that works for you. Their mission is to help you reduce or hopefully eliminate your stress to allow you a more enjoyable interaction with family and friends. There's no reason to have to go to spend Christmas and just feel guilty sitting in a corner or feeling bad about things.
Right.
Oh, I didn't get enough. I mean, I've heard that excuse given within my family. I wish I could have gotten more.
I've already got my Christmas
never
present
forget-
for the year, so I'm happy.
Well, I just got mine yesterday,
Oh, did you?
and I used it yesterday.
Very good.
What'd you get?
I'll talk to you about it in a minute. Community Prevention Services of Jacksonville. Call to set up a time to meet with a counselor at 910-353-0972. Offshore out to 20 nautical miles. Northeasterly winds 15 to 20 knots with occasional gusts up to 25 knots. Seas 3 to 4 feet. Occasionally up to 5 feet, except around 2 feet near shore. Sounds and rivers choppy. For the weekend, beginning tonight, there will be a small craft advisory issued that will last through Monday night. You'll need to make your plans accordingly. Tomorrow, northeasterly winds 20 to 25 knots, increasing to 25 to 30 in the afternoon, gusts up to 35 knots. Seas 5 to 7 feet, some of them as high as 9 feet, building to 6 to 9 in the afternoon near shore. 3 to 5 footers, sounds and rivers rough, increasing to very rough in the afternoon. Sunday, northeasterly winds 20 to 25 knots, diminishing to 15 to 20 in the afternoon, gusts up to 30, seas 6 to 9. You may find an 11-footer out there. Sounds and rivers still rough and diminishing to choppy in the afternoon.
All right, today, first of all, it's cold out there and it's icy on the windshield, but it will be increasing clouds, whatever that means, high of 56. Tonight, mostly cloudy, but at some point overnight, it's going to clear up, but the low will be 39, so it won't be bitter at your game. It's still
That's
going to be cold.
Well, I have the forecast for Fayetteville, but go with yourself.
And then tomorrow, sunny, high of 61. Oh, but those wind gusts come back out again. So the winds will be from the northeast at 8 to 13 miles an hour with 20-mile-an-hour gusts. Tomorrow night, partly cloudy, low of 41. It's not too bad. And on Sunday, partly sunny, a high of 64, but we're back to those 18-mile-an-hour gusts again. Monday's going to be 70. Like, look, Mother Nature, get it together.
It's
Well,
almost like
pick a-
spring's coming back.
Here's what's
Pick
happening with the
something.
wind right now. We're all in this strait. We're exchanging Christmas displays. What I've got tonight is going to be moving next door.
Yeah,
and
it's
just
going to be
going
next
around.
door
Lord
tomorrow.
of mercy! I had to stand up the moose.
Okay.
The
The
pair of
forecast,
moose.
the forecast for the Fayetteville area is a high of 58 today, partly cloudy and gradually clearing towards daybreak. And the lows
It's
will be
daybreak.
sometime early in the morning. I'm talking about tomorrow's daybreak. I'm just reading.
How
what they
long y'all
have here.
planning on staying at this game?
I'm not.
The lows will be
Until we
around
win.
37, and that's through the early morning Saturday hours. So
Yeah, so it won't be that.
it's not going to be bad.
That was not.
like-
It won't. Should not be that cold, frigid
Still need
overnight while we're there.
Y'all need to go get those hand warmers.
We are
Yeah.
well equipped. Oh, I
Oh.
saw some gloves on
We got gloves.
Facebook that have little places to put batteries in there to warm up your gloves.
Oh my
I'm
word!
all beat up.
Y'all gonna set yourselves on fire is what's going to end up happening.
They've had
with
these things,
seats.
heated socks and stuff for
Yeah.
hunters
Yeah,
for years.
these are the type of gloves which I like, are the fingerless gloves. It's got the flap that folds over, but your tips are actually bare. Your gloves. That's what I used to use. I've got a bunch of them at home. Just one
Mm-mm.
pair. I'll bring them
Okay.
to you.
Well, Rayford, I got an email at work yesterday.
Oh, good.
Got something new out there.
Scam.
No,
Okay.
deadly.
Deadly. What?
Carfentanil. It's 10,000 times more potent than morphine and 100 times more deadly than good old fentanyl.
Really?
So originally it was made in 1974, but it was used to tranquilize elephants and bears.
Good stuff.
Yeah, go figure that one. Well, so the CDC has come out with a warning for people that work in substance abuse, and they did some kind of study between January 21 and June of this year. There have been 513 overdoses in the nation of carfentanil, but where the problem has now come in is in the last year, the use and subsequent some overdose. I think there's been 142. Don't quote me on that number, just in the year. But the use of people using has increased 7-fold. It's a lot in 1 year. It's a whole lot, let me tell you. So, and only 2 milligrams of the drug, which is 1/50th, I don't even know how small that is, the size of a pinch of salt, can result in permanent brain damage or complete death. Now, in the last 2 years alone, 251,089 people in the U.S. have died from drug overdoses, but about 74% are fentanyl or some kind of variation, and they're putting carfentanil in that variation. And so in the past, it has come in the form of like powder, tablets, paper. I don't know. I'm going to find out what that means, and patches and a spray. But when it's in powder form, which is the most easiest to distribute, it's mixed with drugs, and now they're starting to put it in xylazine. And North Carolina is really starting to see a major increase in xylazine. It's bad. It's getting real bad. So we had a 503% increase in the carfentanil overdose deaths halfway through 2023, and it went by the end of 2023 it had gone from 29 to 175, and as of June of this year, from January to June of this year, 238 people had died from carfentanil. That's a lot in 6 months. Now it's affecting the East Coast the most.
Why?
Don't know. CDC doesn't seem to know either. Guarantee you, and this would be just a theory on my part, it's definitely probably cartel driven, but for whatever reason, Philadelphia was targeted first with xylazine. That's where it first really hit and spread. I don't know what it is about Philadelphia that made it.
Mob.
Yeah. So I don't know, but it's like it came east and it's just spreading from the north all the way down to Florida. So as if we didn't have enough to worry about, now we got good old carfentanil.
Comes in
Killing
spray
a
form.
spray, and
Oh,
it
does
says paper, and I'm gonna find out what paper. I don't know what that means.
Could be like acid used to be on the back.
Yeah,
of
used to
stamps
do
and
that,
everything
yeah.
else.
Oh, yeah, I
but the
remember
spray,
that.
but the drug dealers like to use it powder form because they mix it in with the other
Sure,
pills.
it dissolves nicely.
Because most people need to understand, people aren't going up and buying drugs and say, "Hey, I want carfentanil." Most 99.9% of the people that overdose and some that die even with fentanyl, don't know the fentanyl's in it.
Mm-hmm.
There are a few people that they still make fentanyl patches for cancer patients and stuff. Some people actually buy those and put them on, which is odd to me. But
Now, here was the situation with fentanyl.
mhm.
Fentanyl is very cheap to
Very.
produce. Okay.
Very. And
And
it comes
it's
from China.
And it's extremely
Mhm.
potent.
Very. Yes.
Extremely potent and deadly.
And you can
Now,
touch it
and
and overdose.
but some of the other drugs, let's just say, I don't pick one, hydrocodone.
Yeah.
you got to buy that
Mhm.
if you're an illegal drug dealer, right? You
Mhm.
got to get your hands on a quantity of that stuff, crush it up, and do your little thing.
They do their thing.
But that doesn't have quite the potency of fentanyl. So you'd have to put a lot more of it together, and that would be increasing your expenses. So
Mhm.
instead of that, you lace it with something more potent.
Mhm.
You ready? You lace it with something more potent. You
Yeah.
cut the dose in half or a quarter
Mhm.
of the hydrocodone that it
Correct.
comes with. Right. You cut that up, smash it up, and you cut it into 4 doses instead.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sprinkle in a little bit of fentanyl here, there, and everywhere.
Mhm.
You got 4 doses, extremely cheap, and you're selling it for a pretty high price.
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
Yeah, I was just reading this
Very
thing
sad.
from the
Amazing.
CDC that says that it's taken and drops are put on paper.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's,
And
that's
I
what
would
I was
think
thinking.
that might be what you mean,
That's an
Kelly.
easy way because they used to have things for they would distribute acid.
Yeah, they do.
When
I
you
would see
find
that
a
way.
little
Yeah.
blot or a bunch of paper,
Yeah.
and you say, "Wonder what this stuff is," and you kind of look, and you can a chemist can find it in a hurry, or
Absolutely,
somebody
yeah.
under a microscope can find it. But cops are having a problem. Here's this little thing up here. Oh, yeah, but these are suspected druggies. We better check this out closely. And that's how they started finding
I
that.
would think
All
that.
they do is go in and lick a dose of it.
Yeah, you would look that.
What
that-
will be next? I swear.
I think
Well,
this
this is 40 years,
Yeah.
50 years ago.
I'm just talking about we're having such a big issue with fentanyl now.
Mhm.
What's going to be next?
The
Seems like
end.
there's always something new
It's going to be
coming
the
up.
end next if this keeps going on because 111,000 died. The most recent figures that I've got that you gave me,
Mhm.
111,000 died, and 95,000 of those were due to fentanyl overdoses.
You would almost.
Those are the ones we know about.
Yes. And it's in everything. It's been in marijuana. It's been
Candy.
Tylenol. I'm still trying to figure out the whole Tylenol.
You know, I
thing.
was just going to bring that up. Remember when the
Because
Tylenol was tainted?
it's easy to use that as, okay, we're going to restamp this stuff.
Mhm.
We're going to make Tylenol pills. We'll crush up the real Tylenol. We'll make it look like Tylenol or a capsule. I mean, think about a capsule. You take it apart. That's an old deal. You pull that sucker apart and you put a little extra stuff in it. You sell it. Yeah, the guy knows he's not getting Tylenol. He's buying something else. But it looks okay. It's in a Tylenol bottle. It looks like a Tylenol capsule, or it looks like a Tylenol pressed pill.
Who goes to a drug dealer and says, "I want to buy Tylenol"?
Well,
Like
it's-
seriously, who
it's-
does that?
it's for sale. They want to buy something else, but here it is, and they
Mhm.
can carry it in their pockets. They
I'm
can
gonna
carry it to
ask.
school. They can carry it wherever they are.
Uh-huh.
You can have it in the workplace and sitting on your desk. And who's going to know the
That's
difference?
mind blowing. Yeah.
Who's going to know the difference? I don't have it in here, do I? I got some eye drops over
Mhm.
here. God help us.
Well,
if
they put
that's put into
fentanyl in
that.
eye drops.
Yeah, well, that's wonderful.
So let's go back to something that was mentioned before the weather. What did you get yesterday for Christmas that you used yesterday? I want to know. We want to know. We girls want to know.
This is going to make y'all feel a little disgusted. I got a frying pan.
Okay.
Oh, that's nice.
It works well too, but
Mhm.
better than any of the frying pan that I got in
Was
stock
it
up
cast
there.
iron?
Nope.
Okay.
It's recycled.
Mhm.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, you know that titanium knee that I have.
Yeah. Would you
Yes.
bust your knee out and say, "Let me melt this down into a
when,
pan"?
when things happen,
Mhm.
they got to do something with the recycled stuff. So they're making frying pans out of recycled titanium. I'm kidding with that part, but it is a titanium frying pan.
Nice.
It is gorgeous.
Wow.
It cleans up real easy. And the
Oh.
best part in the world about it, I decided as soon as I saw this yesterday, my wife couldn't stand it. She had to give it to me.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I said, we're
Aw.
having, we're going to have a little shrimp with some peppers and some rice for dinner tonight.
Ooh, that sounds so
It was
good.
good.
You
Was it
grilled
good?
it. I mean, you fried it in the pan.
I put a little bit of butter
Butter,
and garlic, just
mhm.
a little tiny bit. Didn't have to put anything in there.
Yes.
But a pan with butter.
Right.
And you would use a lower temperature. I will tell you
Right.
that because this thing cooks evenly
I've
all the way
Found
across.
that out about
I
some
put
of
that in
mine.
there and stirred that stuff. Oh my God, stirred that up in just about 3 minutes. And she came out prettiest batch of shrimp that I've ever cooked. All of them were done equally. It was perfect.
Did you use the bag shrimp like you get at the grocery store? Or did you have fresh?
I didn't have any fresh shrimp. This is impromptu.
Yes.
Always keep a supply.
I've often
Nice.
thought about
But I
buying
get-
those frozen shrimp at the store, but I'm just
Well, it depends. not going to say what store that's good or what store that's
Right.
bad. I've had some really bad ones,
Mhm.
but I've found some that it's wild caught. Be sure you look for that. Farm raised is kind of
Yeah.
blasé. It's kind of like cardboard, kind of like eating Gulf Coast oysters when you could get North Carolina oysters. Sorry, no Gulf Coast people, but that's the way it is.
I don't know. I've had some from Louisiana that were really, really good.
You must have been
Nice and
desperate.
salty. But this was way back before we started getting hit with all the hurricanes in the Gulf Coast.
Well,
But yeah.
the warm water
Oh,
oysters are not as
good.
good. Period.
Mine were good.
Even North Carolina oysters have got to be cold
Yes.
before you eat them, before you cook them. But anyway, I got this frying pan. Oh, it is so pretty,
Nice.
and it
Very
cleaned up
nice.
very
Well,
easily.
Merry Christmas.
Hey, that's it. And I said, don't give me anything else. She said, I can't afford anything else. No, she didn't say that, but
Yeah.
I'm sure. And it's heavy.
Yes.
The cool thing about it, as she pointed out, it's got a handle on the front that you can hold on to.
Right.
Because if you got anything in that, holding it by
Mhm.
itself with not
Yes.
any food in it
Heavy.
is heavy all by itself.
Wow. I'm going to check this
And the
frying
whole
pan out.
thing is, I mean, it's just so pretty.
I have one
Cutesy.
frying pan that I use all the time to cook small stuff like
Mhm.
eggs or whatever. And
Well,
I
they
have
make these
one
in
pot.
sets as well, but I've got enough stuff.
Well,
I need a go-to. This
I
is my
quit
go-to.
buying sets because why? I just buy pieces now and I buy stainless steel, but I just buy a piece at a time. And sometimes just some of these stores like Ross's or Marshall's, they have they have pieces there. You can get a nice skillet or pan really cheap. That's stainless steel, and that's what I've been doing.
I don't want to ask what this thing costs, but I'm sure being titanium that
Look and see if there's anything.
I just
on
paid a
there.
lot of money for a family member for a set for Christmas.
whole set of titanium.
No, it's a
Oh, okay.
I don't know what it is. It's just some national. It's they like to like chef kind of cook.
Mhm. So you're trying to show up all the other family members by buying one family member a whole set
The
of
family
wood.
members make a
Premium.
list. Yeah,
Always
this person
pan
gave a
fried.
list, and
Built
this,
to
I'd never heard
last.
of this type of thing until I paid a lot, a whole lot. I'll tell you off there, it was a lot.
I used to buy all that fancy, expensive stuff, but over
I
the
don't- I
years, the
never heard of it.
Teflon wears off and all that.
This
I
one
quit.
is-
Teflon's a bad investment.
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
I
I
agree.
I
don't
mean,
like
it's good for a short
Teflon.
period of time, but
Yeah.
you're going to rip a hole in it. I don't care what you do. Wooden spoons, it'll still damage it after a period of
Yes,
time.
yes.
This stuff is titanium. Y'all know the reputation on that, right? It can't. Obviously, if it works in knees and works in hips, got to be some good stuff. So
I would say so. I bought a nice set. I'm sorry, Kelly. I bought a nice set from Belk's a year ago that's supposed to be really super good, and it wasn't titanium. It was some other thing. Got it home, and I was like, why is it taking forever to warm this pan up? Did not realize that the set was for gas stoves. Like,
oh well.
but you know what? I keep all that stuff in my garage on a shelf because if you ever have a situation where you're without electricity for a couple of days, you need to cook on the grill, whatever, you've got stuff that you can use
Yeah.
that you won't have to get your good stuff all smoked up. Also,
Well, the brand I bought was Hex Clad. I'd never even heard of it.
oh
I don't
my gosh! I just saw the price on this one skillet.
What on Hex Clad?
Yeah, right here. Look,
Yeah.
the regulars.
Oh, I paid a lot. Way more than that.
This is
Way
one
more.
pan.
Yeah.
One pan.
But they'll be happy. They doggone well better be. That's
Or
all
you
I gotta
take it
say.
back and sell it.
I don't.
Or give it to
yeah,
me.
Keep it. Yeah,
I
this is
do not
fancy.
need any more
This
cookware,
is
y'all.
fancy.
I've got one here. We're going to be eliminating stuff we've already got some extra stuff out there. I've got pots out there.
We
that
come
are
back here
this
and look,
big.
Lee. It'll be like shopping. We'll
You
just
could.
go
I know,
we'll
that's
just
just
go
wait till I
store
open
of
up.
Rayford. Come over
It
here
was
and see
just
what we
like-
take
When I
home
do
with
a
us.
yard sale this go round,
I'm
Right.
I've
coming
done
over.
one in
You give
years.
us. Let us know so we can come early.
You'll have day early.
Okay,
you get the
good.
day before.
yeah, we get the preview.
Yeah.
Kelly and I
Let's
get a
pick what we
preview.
want
Yeah,
first.
you get
Yeah.
the preview.
Yes,
Yeah.
I just finally got that one huge cabinet y'all gave me into the bedroom. I still
Mhm.
have to adjust one of the doors, but that sucker was heavy. But I put new legs on it,
Uh-huh.
and back over where they have the hinges, I put some wood glue in there
Right,
and
yeah,
sanded
fixed
it
it
all
up.
down, and then I went and got some stain and covered that, so you don't even notice it.
Cool.
I love the cabinet
Yeah.
though. I love it.
Well, did you hear the story in Illinois about the garbage truck that blew up?
I did.
Yes.
And I mean, I
What was
don't
it?
know why I'm so fascinated by this story. I don't know why.
What was in that truck?
That's
What
what
was
I
in that
I
can
need
they
to
picked
know
up?
what was in this. The firefighters already that got injured is back on the job, but the 2 police officers are still recovering.
Yes.
it-
Dang.
Shattered people's windows, ripped their siding off their house. I mean, what was this?
Somebody may have chunked something away that they shouldn't have chunked away.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. And
But
when that
why would it have
garbage,
suddenly gone off?
when that compactor,
The thing caught on fire first, and the fire truck and the police came, and then all of a sudden,
Oh,
as
so
they
something
got,
was inside that
something was in it.
yes,
that caused the fire. Oh,
They
my.
said
it
there
was probably
were
a car battery.
compressed natural gas
Liquid.
tanks in that compressed natural gas tanks in that truck.
Well, that will cause the
The some
explosion.
fool threw that away, I guess.
Yeah, people don't be throwing that stuff in the
What are we
trash.
trying to do right now? Yeah, and this is their theory. But yeah, they said, I mean, they're lucky the officer and the firemen weren't killed.
Yeah.
The 2
Yes,
officers and
I agree.
it destroyed the windshield of the fire truck, roof and siding damage, and blew out windows in the neighborhood of the houses.
Well, yeah, that's the first thing I thought of when I saw that story was
Mm-hmm.
maybe a battery for an EV,
Who
and
knows?
somebody threw it in there, and then you got the compactor that's crushing
I
everything.
was like, but they said it caught on fire first, which is why the fire truck came. Somebody called and said, "Hey,
Got
the fire
smoke.
truck's on fire."
Well, that's
I mean, the garbage truck's on fire.
That's
okay.
not-
Kelly, do not be outside anywhere on the street when the garbage man
No,
comes.
they come about 8:00. Luckily, on Thursday morning, so I'm usually here.
You're
But
good to
yeah,
go.
I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, and the first responders were injured. One got a concussion.
Mhm.
Go figure. And then they were all injured by flying debris, and that can kill you. Like you can get seriously
there's
hurt.
shrapnel coming out of that stuff.
Yeah,
It's scary.
I mean, and this story is just so wild.
Sometimes you wonder, and I'm not going to tell you anything, but sometimes you wonder about some of the stuff that you recover.
Yes. Yes.
It needs to be disposed of, and it needs to be
Yes.
disposed of properly. And in this community, and in the Fayetteville community, let me just, if y'all can put 2 and 2 together here,
Mhm.
there are things that might be left behind
Yes. I know what you're talking
in
about.
houses that people leave
Yeah. Uh-huh.
that they have rented.
Oh, yeah.
So I know that from time to time, the people that go in to clean this stuff out, they found
need to
all
be careful.
sorts of
Yeah.
stuff in there.
Mhm.
Most of it is, just things that they didn't want to carry with them. They get out of the Marine Corps and they say, I'm one and done.
Mhm.
A lot of them will take it over in advance and take their stuff like that. That's something that still doesn't, I don't understand. They take perfectly good stuff over that's been issued to them,
Mhm.
and they sell it at the surplus stores, right? It's good for people that want to buy some of this stuff, I guess. Good for the surplus store business. But I'm just wondering why that can't be recycled to the next bunch of recruits that are coming through.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a good question.
It's in good
Yeah,
shape.
I
Most
agree.
of it's in still good shape. I
Yeah.
mean, it lasts, more than one tour of duty
Agree.
in most cases. Uniforms, I can understand, but some of the other helmets. Why do you need to? How come I've got a Kevlar helmet out there? I was this not last one. I had another one that was given to me. Like,
I agree
Why?
with you. Yeah.
why can't
Yeah.
you use it? It's still good. Doesn't have any bullet holes in it.
Well, let me tell you the bone I have to pick with the city of Jacksonville and
Uh-oh.
sanitation.
Uh-oh.
Do you know you can't throw rocks away out of your yard? It's just weird to me.
I
It's
put
yard
them
waste.
in my yard waste
I got
bin before.
They threatened me with death. Yes, like
They're gonna rock you, right?
Like-
rock your world.
and my daughter got a letter too. They
kind of
said
rocks were you
they
throwing
said
away?
they told her that her yard bags were too dang heavy.
Do you have a yard bin?
Yes,
Because I put them in there before with yard
they
waste.
acted a fool
To
over
truck
these
the
rocks.
away.
Well,
I was
you,
sitting-
went,
okay.
you went and bought rocks. 'Cause
I did.
know.
Oh, yes.
I picked them up.
no,
Yes.
I keep all
Oh,
my
let me tell you
rocks
what
now.
happened.
But
I'm fixing my little area back there again, Rayford. I'm changing some things, and I was digging up like grass and stuff, and I was throwing
Poor
away. The
Robin.
rocks got mixed up in there. They acted the fool over this,
I've
and
never
they
had
said
that
you can't
problem.
throw rock. And my daughter got this nasty letter talking about you can't throw rocks away. It's yard waste out of your yard.
It's just going into a pile.
Yard waste that goes into those piles is stuff that they can put into that's going to decompose or whatever.
Okay.
That's what.
Well, then they need a
That's what
separate
yard waste
people
is.
that are throwing rocks away out of their yard. Because this is a rocky area. You start digging on, you're going to come up with rocks.
See, you knew what I have. I had when they come through to pick up my recycle yard waste, they have a truck with the and they never touch it. So they don't know what's in there.
Do that again.
Yeah,
Truck does what?
Goes round and round. But I generally don't throw away rocks. I always use them for gardening.
Well, mine, I was not going to pick through that dirt and grass
to dig
right
out the
rocks. Let me tell you what
times.
wasn't going to happen. That. Yeah.
So you're going to leave it up to the city guys to have.
Well,
to
I
do
didn't
that?
know. I just thought they dumped that mess in the landfill and kept on rocking and rolling. Well, now I know.
Disposable yard waste is something that they put in a different pile. That's why they pick it up on a
Right.
different
Well, that makes
bag.
sense. Okay, well, that makes sense to me.
It's
But
kind
they
of
don't
like
have to threaten you
recycle
with
stuff.
death.
You need to separate all that
Yeah.
stuff.
I can honestly say I've never had a problem yet, but I've heard stories like that. Like if you have a tree taken down, like if I had paid to have the tree taken out, I pay for them to haul it off.
Now,
But-
if it's hardwood, just tell them
No,
to
but
cut
the
it up
next
and-
one I'm saving for you.
Thank you.
But you have to cut them in. They can't be longer than 4 feet in
Right.
length.
Yep.
So, you got to go out there and cut it all up. No. So
Well, speaking of that,
There's nothing wrong with that.
so
Do it
my
all the time.
garbage,
be cutting my leg off.
the garbage guys that come on my street are amazing. I don't know who they are, but they're amazing. Now, my daughter lives over in Bryn Mawr, okay? She put cardboard in her recyclable bin, which is where it's supposed to go. Do you know one time she got a letter talking about you've putting too much in here, you can't do that? Because now she brings hers and puts it at my house.
I never had
Too
a
much?
problem
I'm like,
with that.
it was
Mine's
just cardboard
full.
in her recyclable bin, and she got the nasty. I wish she'd have saved that letter, and she may actually have.
Now I know one thing about
Yes.
the only thing I know about the restrictions on cardboard is it has to be clean cardboard.
Yep.
If it's got spray paint on it, if
Oh,
it's
no,
a
this
pizza
was-
box with remnants
No,
of
no,
paint.
this was an
Put that-
Amazon.
And
She's
if
like
it's-
her mother.
and
This was
if-
an Amazon box. I mean, she's like her mama.
You need to get her that special cutter where she
I
cut
did,
it up
and
let
she
it-
keeps forgetting to use it. Yes, I used mine yesterday.
Oh, those things are so
That is like the
good.
greatest thing.
It's fun.
Thank God for Ray for
Oh,
showing me
yes.
this tool.
That is.
I
This
bought one
thing
for my
is awesome.
sister.
I love
Hope
that
she's not
thing.
listening. But yeah, because she has more boxes than you, Kelly.
There's no way. I pulled out boxes out of from where I made the mistake of letting them pile up for about a month, and my mama yelled at me and told me because mom was cutting them so we can flatten them and then use my little tool that Rayford showed me. I bet we had 30 boxes. I don't know in my family room. My mother was so mad. She's like, "You will cut these up when they come in." Now it took us like an hour. But yeah, so I don't know, Lee.
Well,
I do have a lot.
See, I took a whole bunch of them that we had before the fire season started.
Mm-hmm.
Fire season being the fireplace, and I cut them in strips, and I got a whole bin full of those.
Do you need more? Because I got plenty.
Oh, I get restocked every day.
Okay. Okay, because if you do, you let me know. I will save mine just in case.
Because folks,
I've been throwing them in my
if you got a
recyclable bin.
fireplace that's a wood burning type fireplace thing out there,
Yeah.
instead of having to go out and try to get yourself a whole bunch of little twigs to get going with it, a little bit of newspaper just to get the fire started, and
Mm-hmm.
put these little strips of cardboard, fold them so that they have little air pockets in there, and keep crisscrossing them down below your grate, and then put some built like it's going to be twigs, your first layer, on top of your grate. And then you can start putting larger pieces of wood than other little tiny kindling like twigs and stuff. Twigs burn real fast. Cardboard
Yeah.
is paper, burns hotter and slower than paper. You light a piece of newspaper,
Oh, it's gone in half a second.
32 seconds is
Yeah.
done.
Yeah.
So that's what I do. But use the newspaper or other shipping paper to get that fire started.
Man, I feel like I just earned another Girl Scout
Well,
badge.
it's-
All right, you got it.
If somebody wants that, let me know and I'll shred up my box. Rayford showed me this amazing tool he got.
Uh-huh.
I love this thing. So I ended up getting one. And it cuts your boxes up. It's, you charge it up and it just, oh my Lord, it's like the greatest.
battery
I don't know who invented
operated
this.
rotor.
Genius.
I mean, it just.
And if you want to do some designs, folks out there, I can take it and cut in circles.
You can.
Yeah,
I'm
do
not that. I just want to get
It
that.
is cool
Yeah.
just to do it.
Yeah, every time you and Robbie get a new toy, we end up having to have
do.
it too.
I know we get a commission on
The
them.
fan, when she
Yeah.
bought that
Oh,
fan.
yeah.
I was like, that is the
Lee went and
coolest
got a
fan.
fan like that.
So I went and got one
And
like
Robbie
that.
bought 4 more.
And then I bought one for my sister.
Robbie's got them.
We love
everywhere.
them. We love them. They're so quiet.
Okay, y'all, you need to, instead of your small arms like handguns and stuff like that,
Mhm.
Right.
we might be under attack
Right.
already.
From the drones?
The drones.
These drones,
The
man. I've been
drones.
following this
The
saga.
mystery of the
Yes.
drones over New Jersey
What
has
is
now
happening?
expanded to include Connecticut.
Yeah.
Well, I admit that I may have known a little bit about a mysterious unidentified flying object over the campus of North Carolina State University back in the fall of 1966. Don't ask me about it on the air.
Okay.
You can if you want
We'll
to.
talk about it.
Statute of
after.
limitations has expired.
Right.
A glowing object that was spotted moving away from the campus over the city of Raleigh at that time. I know nothing.
Mhm.
I know nothing about the objects that are being
I don't
described
know.
as drones by folks attached to Earth, but are not being acknowledged by our government leaders, our Department of Defense, or anyone with any real knowledge of the strange lights in the sky. In fact, there's a lot of denial happening. The latest
Mhm.
reports came last night. Several of the drones, if that's what they were seen in Connecticut. And a posting on a social media site had a video of what is claimed to be the drones about 55 miles from New York City. They're getting closer.
Well,
Come on. If these lights actually exist, whether a prank or something else, someone knows what they're about. Given today's climate of paranoia, it might be wise, it might be very smart to take the veil off the secrecy before someone gets hurt. While we're not supposed to, it's illegal to damage those flying machines. There might be a person or two out there that can try to make the case that they are in fear for their safety and take a few pot shots. Bullets that go up will come down, and that could result in death or serious injury to a
Yeah.
lot of innocent individuals. Now, there's a whole lot going on with this story, and I don't know that we will ever know what the real story is.
I agree with you.
White House National Security Communications Advisor John Kirby claims that many of the purported drone sightings spotted over New Jersey for the last few weeks now are actually lawfully operated manned aircraft. How does he know this? And if
I
you
call BS
know
on
this,
this.
if you know this, and you need to come clean, dudes.
Right. How can you know that but not know everything else about it? I mean,
He told reporters at the daily White House briefing, "We have no evidence at this time that the reported drone sightings pose a national security or a public safety threat or have a foreign nexus. The Department of Homeland Security and the FBI are investigating these sightings, and they're working closely with state and local law enforcement to provide resources using numerous detection methods to better understand their origin." Okay, but they say there's nothing to them. How do you know? They also, I will let you refer you back to last Friday's interview that we had. Our guest in the studio was a gentleman named John Legato, retired FBI agent. Retired.
yes.
A great guy,
Yes.
Mhm.
smarter than the average bear. He responded to my question about situations prior to 9/11 about the FBI office in Minneapolis. And yes, the FBI office in Minneapolis got detailed information about a possible upcoming strike from the air using hijacked airplanes. They passed this information up the chain or tried. It got, that can't happen. And then on 9/11, it all
Right.
became very clear.
Goodness.
What that information was, he had it. Let's go back to the most recent series of crap. That balloon.
Look at what a
Yeah.
fiasco that was.
That got
Look at
quiet.
that balloon. Look at the second balloon.
Mm-hmm.
We denied it. We didn't tell anybody about it. It came all the way from across Alaska down, was steered across the entire breadth of the United States of
Correct.
America
How embarrassing is that?
twice.
Mm-hmm.
Second time, they got so
Embarrassing.
much grief after the first one Second time, they sent planes out after he got off the coast of South Carolina and put some holes in it and recovered it. What have we heard about it since then?
Nothing.
Not a
Zilch.
word. Yep.
It's just like,
Has anybody even asked any questions? Does anybody care? We shot it down. Oh man, we're heroes. We shot that sucker down.
Mhm.
Well, what did it have on it? And it has been acknowledged that no, those things that got across. No, we didn't get them in time. They weren't taking information and going back to China with them. They were transmitting that information back to China in real time.
Right.
As they gathered it, they sent it back. The path of at least one of those balloons was over so many military installations, and they were at an altitude that even coming across part of western North Carolina and into South Carolina, it was within range of Camp Lejeune.
yes,
It was in range of multiple military
What gets
installations.
me is you have like all this. You had the balloons. There's never any
Mhm.
nothing. And I know you don't follow local social media. Kelly and I do. Kelly, have you seen all the alleged sightings of drones over the last couple of days? People posting on Facebook.
Yes.
It's been crazy.
hmm
It's
And a
been
lot of it
crazy.
is in the Bryn Mawr area.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, if
Mhm.
I hear something, or if I see something up in the sky around here, I can usually feel the vibration because there are
Mhm.
ospreys and 53s.
Mhm.
Oh,
coming
yeah.
home.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem. I know what they are.
Right.
If something came across low as those things are and it was making no noise, I would be really concerned.
Well, somebody even put a video of what they thought appeared to be a drone
Yeah.
on
I
there.
saw what, yeah.
Yes. I mean, I'm just like going,
How do you know it's a drone?
I'm just saying what people
Maybe
are
some of
posting.
this is why we have
Rock.
Operation Blue Book that they disbanded some years ago.
Yes.
Operation Blue Book was an Air Force deal where they took all this information from everything from pilots, from commercial airline pilots to military pilots. You look at some of that Operation Blue Book details that they had out there, and it'll make you think, oh, these guys are not crazy that they were talking to, and they had multiple witnesses.
Mhm.
Things that were just hovering there and suddenly whoosh, gone.
Well, I'm going to say this. I've
51.
watched some video on the news of this New Jersey stuff.
Mhm.
This is concerning.
It is concerning. If you don't know what it is, it's concerning.
And especially the amount, the location, but this isn't just one or
Mhm.
two. This is like a lot.
Mhm.
And especially even where they are. But I mean, if I don't know how anybody would not, if I lived up there, I'd be very nervous. I'd be wondering why.
Well, if it's going to be up there, it's going to be down here.
Yeah. I agree. Well, like I said, people in Bryn Mawr,
And what better place to do it than
we're
this area right
in
here?
your
where we have-
military base.
well,
yes.
yeah. Well, not only that, but I mean, if I look up in the sky right now and I see at nighttime, I see a bunch of
Looking out.
flashing lights, it would not be that unusual, right?
Right.
So these things could be mixed in with what we've got already flying among us.
Well, yeah.
Now, are they being picked up on radar? I want to know about it. They've got all sorts of radar that can penetrate everything. They can detect a whole lot of stuff. They get infrared. They can pick up. They can use. I just like to know more. Why are you keeping this secret from us? Is there something out there? You need to tell us, because all you're doing is you're creating speculation, like we're doing right now. What it could be.
Right.
What could it be? Should we be paranoid? Well, yeah.
Well, how
But
could
here's
you
the
not
old
be
thing that a
paranoid,
lot
though?
of
You know
us
what I'm saying? Like-
who travel, just because you're paranoid does not mean they're not out to get you.
I agree with that.
Well, Joy just commented that some have been spotted in Richland. I've been seeing them everywhere all of a sudden.
Mhm.
Not me personally, but people recording
of 'em.
reports of sightings. And
Now,
I'm like,
if I go outside tonight and I take a video camera and I shoot it up at the sky, I can show you 25 objects. As long as I cut the sound off, I can show you blinking lights that
I
are
just don't pay
zipping
that
along
much of
and changing
attention.
course and doing all sorts of things.
Or
Helicopters or
yes,
ospreys
Oh,
or
yeah.
whatever.
and your house is shaking, and
Well-
you're like,
I have a drone, which I don't fly.
Why?
I'm learning, but that's a whole separate issue. But it'll say it knows my address, and it'll say I'm in a fly zone, which I already knew I was
No
based on
fly
how.
zone, yeah.
Which, based on how low they fly over my house, Mama had to get used to it when she got down here.
I bet
But I
she
mean,
did.
it's all, we don't flinch at it no more. But sometimes it's like, are they landing on my roof? I mean,
Oh,
but
yes.
yeah. So I don't know that if my little drone, I'm going to have to go see if I'll even get it to go up in the air.
Do you do like I do when you hear that? You mute TV?
I
Yes.
do. I had to do it
See
the
how
other night.
close
It
it's
sounded like
coming?
a.
Well, I pause it so I can hear it again, because I can just continue watching
I
it.
swear they're going to land on the street.
Mine sounded like it was about to land on my roof, or it was like a major
Mhm.
airplane. I'm like, what's, I knew
It's
it wasn't.
it's
but-
going to happen on the 24th too.
Let me tell you what better not happen on. Let me tell you what better not happen on the 4th.
Drones landing on your roof.
No,
It's Santa.
power going out.
It's Santa.
And
You better go ahead and get your generator on gas stuff.
I know.
Oh, I remember that. I wasn't part of that because I'm with
But
the
I've got
different.
gas fireplace, and it just got filled, so I'm good. Thank.
I remember when
Yeah.
I remember them when that happened. A lot of people were very upset over it.
It was cold.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm now an official weather spotter for the National Weather
And I'm
Service.
getting ready to join with you.
Robbie is too. She is
I
one.
can't wait.
And I had a long conversation with the gentleman who was giving the class last night,
Oh, great.
and he actually worked in Wilmington at the National Weather Service, and when I was in Wilmington,
I'm a weather geek.
Yeah.
I can't
So
wait. for this.
anyway, that forecast stuff that you've been looking at down there,
Yes.
he said, don't discount that yet.
I will say this.
Now let's,
The meteorologist that put that out is a well-known, very credited, but it's still 10 days away.
yeah, and things can change. That's what he also pointed out last
I-
night. About here's the
I
situation.
don't want you to be right. That's all I care about.
Here's the situation.
Right.
We get, particularly this time of year and in January is going to be the time.
Mhm.
If we've got a big cold thing coming down from the north,
Mm-hmm.
which they can
And
predict
a
those
storm
out pretty
coming from
far
the-
in advance, as we
Mhm.
know, as long as things don't change. Coming down from the north, and there's moisture not coming straight up, because moisture coming straight up into the coast on land
Mm-hmm.
is going to be very warm.
Did you see that, Kelly? I sent it to you.
I saw it. I was waiting on you to bring it up.
Let me explain to you again how this is happening. Moisture, if you got cold air coming from the north,
Mm-hmm.
which we likely are going to have,
Correct. It's
and then if you've got a big batch of moisture and it's offshore,
correct.
just
Coming in,
enough
yeah.
coming up, it's not real warm at that time. But when it
Right.
gets up and meets up with that cold mass
And
up
it
there,
swirls around.
and then it becomes nasty.
yes.
Yes.
So that's what you've got. If anytime, this is something I learned last night. I think I was told before taught, but if you've got anything coming from the south like that, or coming across down low and then starts
Right.
moving up in the
Mhm.
form of moisture,
Mhm.
if it goes offshore, that's when you get that coastal effect.
Right.
It's a little bit like lake effect. So I
Yes.
guess probably,
Mhm.
I don't know. But anyway, it goes offshore. If it's offshore coming up and meets the cold air, that's when you get slammed. That's the times, if you will recall, around here, 20 miles inland, forget about it. You didn't have
Mhm.
any snow. Here, we can have 15
1989.
inches.
Mhm.
This is just all I've got to say is like things could change dramatically. We know how the weather
1989,
is.
let me tell you that. December 23rd, it was snowing.
Yes. And this
And it
is
snowed for 3 days.
oh, how well I knew.
And
Yes.
then we had 15 to 20 inches of snow, depending upon where you were in eastern North Carolina. And that was not drifts. That
No.
was the measured depths
It
of snow. Now,
was definitely
of course, I was in TV at the time. Couldn't go anywhere. I did because I had a big old Jeep.
Yeah, I did too. I had a 4-wheel drive.
I had a big old Jeep.
I went to work.
I didn't have a little Jeep. I had a big old Jeep. Christmas
Mhm.
morning, I got out and did some things, and I went straight to the station.
Mm-hmm.
6:00. We had those days we had teletypes for
Yes.
AP, and we
Yes.
also had the National Weather Service was on a teletype. We didn't have computers in those days. We didn't have
Oh.
screens. It was the click, 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 click. So I go in to pull the 6 a.m. update
Right.
at the National Weather Center Service office in Wilmington, the official location.
Right.
It was 0 at 6 a.m. on Christmas morning.
I remember that huge snowstorm
0.
very well.
0.
Yes.
And that snow stayed for several weeks.
Right.
It did not go away. It did not melt. It doesn't melt fast. So anyway,
Well, my advice to everyone listening is
watch out.
watch out, keep a watch on the weather, but you might want to finish up your Christmas shopping and grocery shopping this weekend.
That ruined up my Christmas Eve shopping that year. I can tell you that right now.
That should have made you learn your lesson right there.
Well, I didn't. I
That
didn't have to
should
worry
have
about buying
made you
people stuff.
learn.
I had the
know.
greatest excuse in the world. I couldn't get to the store,
Right.
and the stores closed early.
Yeah. It's worth watching this.
Kmart
That's
was
coming up.
closed during a couple of days leading up to Christmas.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, it's
Oh, my.
bad. It's bad.
Oh my!
Were the Circle K's open? The
We
7-Elevens?
didn't have Circle K's. We had 7-Elevens for those
7-Elevens.
days.
Those are Circle K's now. So
I got to.
speaking of that,
I'm gonna give you, just in case you guys are out there doing things, and we do get some really cold temperatures,
right.
and you get ice forming on your windshield, real
Right.
thick ice, and even as you're driving down the road and you're trying to wash it off,
Don't.
the chances are your windshield wipers and that stuff that you got in your, make sure you got really good antifreeze type
Yes.
stuff in that windshield washer, because it will freeze too. If you just put water in there or a light mixture of
then
water
you
and something.
bust
And the
open.
worst thing to do is what I did.
Oh no.
I stopped and I bought a bunch of alcohol, rubbing alcohol,
Mm-hmm.
because alcohol doesn't freeze real easy, right?
Right. And
And I get out, and when I
right.
so much that, I mean, the frosters are working, but not working. It was too zero. Stuff doesn't do,
Mhm.
and I didn't have any spray stuff at that time. They didn't make it.
I got some right now.
I
I'll check.
used my high school chemistry, which I was not real brilliant in chemistry, but it worked. I poured this alcohol over the windshield on
Mhm.
my side, and it all melted that stuff away, turned the windshield wipers on, and I had a clear windshield.
That's like that video
Alcohol
we were watching
eats
yesterday.
rubber.
Yes, it does.
I had to get me a new set of windshield wiper blades very quickly, because it ate the rubber very quickly.
Well, you and I was sitting here playing that video yesterday about the guy that gives tips and stuff on social media. And he was saying he always carries a bottle of rubbing alcohol, and he sprays his windshield with that during the evening before the frost actually comes in, and it keeps the windows from freezing up.
Mhm.
And I'm like, well, I've
So do
never
your
tried that.
So do your car mats.
Yeah. So anyway, I did what you said last year to do, and I went and got the bottle of the big gallon jug of the spray that you can use and I have it in a separate spray bottle. Got out this morning, the color door, sprayed the windshield, poof, it was gone
Yep, it
instantly.
goes right away.
Yeah. So
If we do get snow, though, before you spray that
Mhm.
stuff on there, if you've got an accumulation of
Yeah,
2, 3, 4 inches of stuff, just wipe it off with a
that,
broom
yeah,
or
of
something
course.
first.
Yes.
And when
of
you get down to
course.
the frozen to the windshield stuff, then you can
Yes,
spray that
then
on there.
spray it. Yeah, but it'll be exciting to see what happens in the next week or so with
No, it won't.
the.
I'm gonna sleep.
Well,
I gotta
just
get me some more firewood.
seeing
That's
if
what I
it's
gotta
going to
do.
happen.
Yeah.
Kelly and I'll be zooming in on Skype. You'll be sitting here by yourself.
Yeah, you can do that.
I'm not worried about me driving because, like I have 4-wheel drive. Except you can't drive on ice, but it's some of the fools that you come across
Yep.
that are out there on the road.
Well, the fools that I came across on Christmas morning were very few and far between, because
Yes.
those that I did see were in ditches for the most part.
Yeah. I
Right,
used to go
slip
out
and
when I
slide.
had to go to the post office, and I was the opening supervisor. I would go like 3 or 4 in the morning
Mhm.
and crawl when there was no traffic out there, and I could go like 10 miles an hour with somebody up my bumper or something. But yeah, I always went in early so I could get in there and get on the roads before the traffic started.
Yeah, before the fools joined the crowds, right?
Yes, before the fools did.
This Christmas season, it's upon us, as we know. We're talking about it. The time of year when we like to get together, break bread, and exchange gifts. Finding just the right present gets harder as the years go by. The older we get, the more realistic we become. The gift of planning ahead, planning for the future, is one of the most valuable gifts you can give your loved ones. Estate planning provides peace of mind, avoid those dreaded family conflicts, and ensures your wishes are honored during critical times. Right now, you can get a certificate that entitles the bearer to a basic North Carolina last will and testament. It's prepared by Cheryl P. Colson under the supervision of attorney Samuel S. Popkin. It's valued at $300, but you can get it now 50% off, $150. All documents can be securely filed with the North Carolina Secretary of State, the Onslow Clerk of Court, or the Register of Deeds as it applies. The offer does not cover complex estates or trust. The original numbered certificate must be presented at the first consultation and is valid for 6 months after it is issued and is only valid for drafting and signing one will. Can't use it for a group gathering. It has no cash value and cannot be used for other legal services. You may have another speeding ticket you want to have the lawyer to go in and deal with. Nope, doesn't apply. For additional information, call the office of Samuel Popkin, attorney at law, 910-347-0100 or 252-647-6016. Those numbers again, 910-347-0100 or 252-6016. This is a legal advertisement brought to you by Samuel S. Popkin, attorney at law. The team wants to wish you and your loved ones a wonderful holiday season filled with peace and joy. It's a great Christmas
Very
gift,
nice.
y'all.
It is, and I'm doing it. I am definitely doing it. First of the year, I'm gonna sit down with Cheryl and get mine done.
Okay. Police in San Francisco say they
Uh-oh.
were able to identify the man accused of killing Brian Thompson, the United Healthcare CEO in New York earlier this
Yes.
month. The PD said they had named Luigi Mangione as the shooter 4 days before he was arrested. The
Mhm.
police department contacted the FBI with what they knew. Don't know exactly how they knew it, but I'm sure people there recognized him one way or the other. Mangione
Stop it.
faces a second-degree murder charge. A strange charge, given that he waited until Thompson walked by, then followed his target, stalked him, aimed his pistol, and opened fire. How is that second degree?
Right.
Y'all got to
Mhm.
help me out with that one. The CEO fell to the street and died. For whatever reason, a lot of folks have stood by this shooter, many expressing the fact that we really don't like our healthcare
That makes
system,
me sick.
nor the medical insurance system. So if that's the case, we just go out and we kill people.
It doesn't give you the right to go out and kill.
I don't care
others.
what you don't like.
Piece of
If you are so bent like that, you really
Mhm.
need to seek some help
right.
because you have a problem. You just don't go willing. You don't even threaten things like that. I've heard in one case in particular recently where a guy is so fed up with the lack of service that he claims that he's getting, I'll kick him in the head. I'll shoot him. I will do things. What's
It's the
wrong?
world we've
Why do you
become.
even think along those lines? Now, if somebody's messing with your kids, they're doing things. Yeah, I can see the mom family get together, the mob
That's
led by
right.
Kelly,
That's
wanting to
right.
do things. I can understand making comment, but because somebody you didn't get the service that you think you deserve,
We've been putting on our ninja outfits.
if you think that's the situation, suppose you go to Kelly's office and say you don't like the service that I'm getting. So does that give you the right to go on a rampage
No,
to get crazy?
no. But you know, that's if you've noticed that these days so many people feel so entitled.
Yeah.
And that's like going back to social media, which is, you know, social media is a cesspool. But somebody can make one comment on a post, and then you've got 5 other people making fun of that comment or saying something derogatory. I just can't deal with that stuff. But it's just the world we've become.
Yeah.
It's people are so judgmental. Not everyone, but you know.
We have a nation of entitled. They think they're entitled to everything. And
Yes.
they, of course, they blame everybody else for some of the problems that perhaps are self-induced. How many people that y'all know that you've come across that blame everybody else for them falling off the roof?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like especially this time of the year when you go into a store to shop, especially through Christmas shopping, and your lines are going to be long. There's going to
Yeah.
be a lot of stuff
You
going
waited too
on.
late. You should have gotten here
Well,
earlier.
think about it. You could have gone a month ago and might have just gone at a time during the day where the lines were long. And expect that, but there's no sense standing in line
And complaining.
and complaining, getting everybody all worked up. I mean, it's the way it is. But
I don't like waiting in lines. And if I don't like
don't
waiting in
either.
line and I see a long line there, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to drive somewhere else.
The only thing that bothers me about waiting in line is watching employees that could open a register standing there and watching everybody.
I don't know.
That aggravates me.
One of the things that the supermarkets and other stores have gotten into,
Self-serve.
self-serve, and then you've got all these empty cash register lines
Right.
where people aren't there and people are standing in line at the self-serve
That's what I'm
type
talking
places.
about.
And you know what? Unless you are a cashier somewhere, you probably don't know how to use those things as fast as you should be able to use them. Certainly not as fast as the professionals could use. But
Wow.
then again, you've got people standing there that could be working.
Thank you. That's what I'm
That
talking
could be
about.
working those other cash registers that they're
Right.
standing there because they got nothing else to do with their lives at that point in time. And they're having to help people.
Well, you
Why
know-
not just open the lines up? Is this the best direction we've gone?
Well, what gets me
It
is
coincidentally, think about this for just a second. Sorry to interrupt you, but think about the prices started going up when all this started happening.
Yeah.
Hello, you pay more for the product, and then you have to serve yourself to get it done. So what next? I'm going to go back in the kitchen and cook my own food
well, what gets
and
me
pay them to
is,
do it.
like, you can go into a grocery store. I like to use the self checkout. I'm really good
I
at
do
it,
too,
you know,
but-
and nobody bothers me. But yeah, you see 3 or 4 cashiers just all walking
Yeah.
around and roaming.
And how many times do you see them having to go help somebody else who is probably not as adept as you?
Right. Yeah. That's
It's bad enough at the Phillips stations.
Right.
Philip is in gas stations at the
Right.
self-serve because nobody's got anything that's not self-serve anymore, do they? You've got to know how to do it. And then when they put that, pet peeve at our favorite, they've got this thing. You've got this app with
I live
two
by apps. I
Ps.
like my apps.
And you have downloaded, and you get out of your car, 5 cars behind you. You get out of your car, you get your telephone out, you scroll through it, you punch a few buttons, then you get over to the machine that's got the hoses coming out of it, and then you take that and you stick it up there and nothing happens. Then you go back and you try it again, stick it up there and nothing happens. Meanwhile, the cars are now 7 cars behind you, 8 cars, 9 cars behind, and you're up there. Finally, the guy in front of you who finished filling up, I have gone around that guy who's still trying to get his phone to work and got in front of him, got out of my car, walked up, put my card in, put my payment card in, and filled up and left. He's still up there with his phone.
See, and that's I take issue with that. He's being disrespectful to everyone else. If you tried, it doesn't work. Do it the old-fashioned way. Get your card out, put your card in.
If you
as
try
to
and it doesn't
not
work,
hold
it's because
up.
you don't know how to use it, and you should
Well, no,
practice
that's
that. You need to practice that at home.
Sometimes things just don't work out. It's like my card. Sometimes I can just tap it
Mhm.
and it works, and other times I have to insert it. But I'm not going to sit there and keep doing it.
I just hit it.
I just go ahead.
With
If
a
it doesn't work the first time, then go ahead and use the other way.
Yeah, well,
I don't like holding up anybody
I don't
just as
either.
much as I don't like being held up.
That's
But
right.
you know, a lot of stores have gotten now where they won't take checks anymore either. You have to use a card.
Really?
Yep, they're going to no checks.
Well, it's like the ball game last week in Havelock. We had to use a phone to get.
Yes,
I don't-
our tickets were on the phone.
And what happens if I don't have a phone?
Well, then you're out of luck.
No, they got
Well-
my money. I'm
Well,
really out of luck.
They
I'm
always
screwed.
send a confirming email, and all you would have
Suppose
to do
they'll-
is just
really?
Some of them, though, like you go to pro sports games, football, you have to scan it on your phone. They'll scan it.
right.
I
Like you,
suppose I do not have a
then
phone.
you just don't go. That's how that works. They won't let you,
You
in.
either get with
You
the
find a
game.
phone.
So they're forcing me to go out and buy $1,000 phone.
Who
I
doesn't have? Who does that?
Name who don't
Who
have
does-
a phone.
Who
Rayford?
goes out and buys $1,000 phone so they can download an app and buy a ticket?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm not going to do it.
I don't need $1,000 phone, but I'm just saying, it's.
They
Well,
expect
get
you
your
to have one.
Yeah.
Go get a burner for $30.
They expect that they even do text messages.
Yeah.
Yep.
Burner phones do.
Mhm.
Uh-huh. So I'm gonna have to spend another $30, $40 just to be able to go to this
You
$10
just need
game.
to get with the
You
program.
got to get with the
that's all.
program.
You just
Change happens whether you want it to or not.
That's right.
Let me give you the one that we got into in Bon Air.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God.
COVID.
Mm-hmm.
We had to do the testing
Yeah.
before we could leave the island.
I remember that. Yeah.
I did the testing, but I went to the testing store to do the testing. Cost the same thing. And they gave me a piece of paper, printed it out. We got a
Steve.
caller.
Yeah,
I
Steve.
think it's Steve.
Hey, Steve.
And we printed out they printed out mine.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Robbie, she chose to do the self-testing in the house.
Mm-hmm.
And she had it on her phone. It came
Yeah.
to her on her phone. Well, guess what would not work at the airport?
Probably her phone.
Her phone. Why?
Mhm.
Because the airport's
Probably blocked
No.
there's no
her
internet.
airport was not working. The wireless was not working at the airport.
Oh, wow.
I had to go over
Mhm.
and I found a customs guy,
Right.
a lady, very nice lady. I said, the airport stuff. She said, it's down. I said, well, how are we going to show this testing that my wife's got? She should have taken a screenshot. Well, she didn't.
Mhm.
Well,
And in the ball game last week, they wouldn't
they wouldn't
accept
accept screenshots.
But
Yeah, a lot
at
of
the,
places
at the
won't.
airport,
Mhm.
we were getting ready to be stuck on the island. I should have
Mhm.
let it stay just like that.
Mhm.
But then she said, and I showed her some ID. And so she said, here's our Wi-Fi. She gave me the password to
So you
get
could
to
get
the
on
Wi-Fi.
there. Yeah.
That's how we left the island.
Yeah.
Is this Steve?
Yeah.
Hello. Hey, Steve.
Hey, Steve.
Hey, Steve.
Hope y'all having a good day so far.
Oh, yeah. It's
Yeah.
warming up all the way up to 27 now. It was 27 when I got here, and it went down to 26. Now it's back up to 27. It's cold.
Time for short pants and flip flops.
Yeah, there you go. And the Florida Keys.
Yeah. I was listening this morning a little bit ago, and y'all make me laugh sometimes.
Well, that's what we try to do.
I think sometimes y'all miss it. Y'all went right from talking about having patience in line at the store to how y'all don't have patience in line at the gas station.
Well, at the gas
Maybe laugh a little
station,
bit.
it's not that we don't have patience at the gas station. It's that if everybody who is going to go to the gas station would do it the right way and get it done, they would not hold up the whole line behind them.
Yeah, that's what we're
So
meaning.
it's when you stall a line, that's just
Right.
wrong. That's rude.
But is that any different than when you're standing in line at the grocery store and somebody pulls out a checkbook and starts filling out the check in line at the store?
Oh yeah,
I've never seen anybody do that in a long time, but I don't go to the store much either.
I did just about a month or so ago. An elderly lady in front of me, she was getting her groceries, and she didn't even
Aw.
start filling out the name of where the business on the check till she got the total.
Yeah. Well, see, when I pull up in that line at the gas
Bless her
station,
heart, I stood right there and I was happy to do it.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Aw.
I don't mind if you got something. And now if we're dealing with an elderly person like that.
Take all the time
elderly
you
is somebody
need.
older
Right.
than me, and I'm ancient. So, but if they've got like something like that, and actually I will help people, and I have helped people when they were having problems with their card. Trying to swipe it or whatever. Not at the gas station, because I don't do apps and cards. If they're having a problem with a card, I'll be glad to go over and help them with that one. Apps I don't do.
Yeah.
I just don't do them, and because they just take up that much more time. I'll go around. I'll be around them shortly, but it just cuts the traffic in that two pump line down to one. So it takes a lot of folks behind them a lot more time. But here's the other thing. Even when I pull up to the gas station, I'm going to be in a line most time, right? So while I'm there, in my wallet, I take out my card that tells me I can get gas there, and my card that says, "Here's I'm going to pay you." They're in my hand. I don't start looking for them when I get out of the car. And as I walk back towards the pump, I unscrew the gas cap. And I hit the button on the pump with the card in it. Then I hit the other one. And before that pump can get recycled and ready to go, I've already got the nozzle in and the lever pressed.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't want to stay there, and I don't want to hold up anybody else.
I fully understand that, and I agree with you. But some people aren't as efficient in this world as you are. Some of them are just floating through on a whim,
Yeah.
and they don't think about nothing until it's time to think about it.
Well,
You know,
yeah.
so-
Well, that's the wrong time to be thinking about it.
Well, you know, I go back to what my dad said: is you can get upset over, you know, less intelligent people, but then you're just going to be mad all the time. I don't want to call them stupid
Well,
because they're all stupid at times.
It's
Yeah.
not the less intelligence or anything else. It's some of the folks who are, and like I say, I will gladly help them. And if you are a disabled individual, if you've got a handicap, I will be right there for you.
Right.
I mean,
Right.
I've wheeled people in and out with wheelchairs. I've helped people walk out of restaurants who could not walk out of restaurants. I had
Right.
a former senator here one night. He had a problem, so I helped him, and then I got home
Right.
and helped him get into his house.
Right.
So things like that. He lived right down the street from me.
Well, you know, I don't mind.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I'm sorry, Steve. I don't mind waiting in line if it's for a valid reason,
Mhm.
but if somebody is holding up a line, whether it's a gas line or a store line, because they're being disrespectful and ignorant of other people, that's what irks me. But
Yeah.
being in line because you're in a line, everybody's trying to get gas or groceries at the same time, you expect that.
Now there are some stores that I know those stores where I'm going to go, and because I
Mhm.
like the stores and they're friendly and they're
Right.
they like to they chat. The clerks will chat in a
Yes.
heartbeat. They'll chat with me. They'll chat with everybody else.
Yes.
I know these stores, and if I don't want to go to these stores, I choose not to go there. But they're community stores, and they will talk to people.
Right. Right.
They just take, hey, how's your little boy doing? Is he doing okay? Did he get okay? Is he get over that sickness?
It's just like Chuck at the main post office downtown. He's going to talk.
Now, I will say those people, I won't say bother me, but, you know, make me take pause is when they see a line of people and they're the employee
yeah.
and they're the ones holding up the line. Then, yeah, I'm like, okay, come on, guys, you know better.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
I do
right.
that too.
Oh, yes.
But I would say that, remember, some people's disabilities aren't visible.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Very true.
they're usually
Once you start talking to them, you'll realize that they're not.
I was going to say
100%.
they're usually fairly visible if you pay attention.
Right.
Mhm. Right. But like I say, some of them you don't realize it until you start talking to them, and then
Yep.
you're like, okay,
Yep.
yeah, we got to keep it simple.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. You ready
I
for
got a couple
Christmas?
suggestions for you. Right?
Okay,
I
great.
am. I'm
Good.
very ready for it. Got a couple of suggestions for you on the hot chocolate thing. I was thinking about.
Oh, let's hear it.
All right.
How to
Let's
sneak
do
it
it.
in?
Now, if you go online and you look around, you can find they've got one is a cane that is actually a thermos, and the top screws off the cane.
What?
And then they also, the one that's surefire, won't nobody check you, I promise you, is get you a clean colostomy bag and fill it up with hot chocolate.
Oh, my.
You know, I love that,
Put it right on your
Steve.
side. Put it right on your side, and that'll
I'm
keep
go-
it warm. Now,
I'm
you might
call-
have some people fall out when you pull the straw out and start drinking it.
Oh, Steve, that is the greatest
Steve.
thing I've heard. That is awesome.
Well, we talked about using a regular bag and put in, but I'm
Oh, Steve, genius. Steve, that's genius.
I see
Done on
nobody
this one,
won't check
bud.
it, nobody won't look at it.
Hey,
That is the
ain't nobody else
greatest thing I've
Hey, you
heard.
want a sip of this?
Yeah.
Yeah, ain't nobody gonna ask to share it. No.
Steve, you're brilliant.
That is brilliant.
You can take this one to the bank. I'm going to get mine.
Yeah.
I'm looking right now. I'm shopping Amazon. I'm
just-
looking for this thing.
But they do have all kinds of stuff where, not to get anybody any ideas, but all kinds of covert liquid dispensers.
Yes.
But
But we need one that's like
there was
plastic.
a Velcro belt that went around your waist and
Yeah.
had real thin flasks that were plastic with plastic lids that
There you
Velcroed to that belt.
Really?
And there was
Plus-
4 of them,
It'll keep it
and for
warm
the metal
too.
detectors wouldn't set them off.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Well,
But yeah,
well.
you can get all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, it'll keep you warm until you're ready to drink it. I like that.
Yeah, it could be a belt. It would be a waist warmer and everything. That's not a bad idea.
Yep.
What if I could
Yep.
build one into these electric seats that I've got so it would stay hot during the whole time? If I could build a bladder into the seat, we got battery powered
There you go.
seats now.
So you got one of them, emerald
Steve was
cookies.
the one that set me onto it.
Oh, was that right?
Yeah,
See,
Steve is
thank
the
you,
one that
Steve.
said
Now we got-
J.C. Penney had them.
Now we got a better idea.
Yep.
Colostomy bag. Oh my
Oh.
God!
Steve, that is like the greatest thing I have heard. And I'm gonna let y'all know if Rayford actually does this. And Rayford, I hope you do.
I
'cause
won't
this
have
would
a
be-
time for tonight, but you wait for next year. Or maybe next week. Who knows?
Yeah, it gives you a
Hopefully,
little chance. You
If,
can
if
practice
we're, if we're
it.
lucky, we'll be going to Raleigh
Yeah.
next week.
Oh yeah.
That
Well,
would be
Put
we
some of
may
those hot
not.
hands in your pocket on the outside, and that'll keep it warm too.
The what now?
Put you some of them chemical heaters in your pocket, and that'll keep the bag warm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that'd be perfect.
Oh my word.
Well, I just have a feeling they're going to be on the lookout for us anywhere because I know we've been squilled on. I know we've been told.
They're going
on.
to rat us out,
They're
aren't
going
they?
to rat it. We've probably already been ratted out. They probably have our pictures of us on the show right there when
I'm
we
going to
go
wear my
on.
Biden-
I'm wearing my Biden mask tonight. That'll mess them up.
20 people show up with colostomy bags.
What's that, sir?
I think it's great.
Hey,
Wow,
look,
these
if
some sick folks out here today.
it's already got the hot chocolate in there, can you imagine? When
Can you
look
imagine?
at it and you're like,
Somebody has
man
to have
has
a
got a
camera.
problem.
As soon as they see Rayford pull that, expose that bag to that brown liquid and then
that
Wait a
drink
brown
it.
liquid in it.
I want to
Won't
see
expose
the
the bag. We'll just take the tube out.
I want to see the people around their faces. I have to see this.
Hey, Steve, you want my joke that I'm going to go do the weather?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I mean, both of these girls are
Y'all, Steve,
Here we
say
go.
no.
Anyway, here it is. The guy goes to the doctor, and I mean, he had already made a head call when he got there, and he's there, and the doctor said, "I got to have a sample." And the nurse said, "Here's your cup," and he goes into the head, can't do anything. Came out, he said, "I can't do anything." He said, "Well, here's a cup of orange juice in there. Drink this, and then go in and try again." So he goes in there, he still can't do it. So he pours the orange juice in the sample cup, and he comes out, and she takes a look at it, and she says, "A little cloudy today." So he takes the cup. "I'll run it through again." He drinks it down.
Oh. Yeah, you go ahead.
Steve,
laugh,
there's your thought for the day.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, I was going to say, if y'all get out and about this weekend, I'm going to be at the Borough tomorrow night.
Oh, really?
6 to 9. Yeah.
Oh, really?
The
Bundle up,
borough.
come on out. Yeah,
What
bundle up,
time?
come on
6
out.
to
It's gonna be
9.
lovely. Actually, it's not going to be that cold tomorrow night. I think
It's going to be a little bit better. You're going to be
out.
outside. I can stand you for a minute or two, with a heater.
Play outside. You'll be inside. Won't you be inside?
No, he'll be
No,
outside.
I'll probably be outside. Probably
They got
outside,
these
but-
overhead
Yeah, they got those
propane
heater
heaters there.
things.
They
Yeah.
sit right under one of those things.
Yeah, I knew that, but I still thought
Keep me
that.
warm.
Okay.
Well, we can wear.
I've got light fingerless gloves and a little.
we have batteries.
Yeah, we are batteries. You got
I'm over
no.
at Riptides this
I
evening.
knew that was coming.
Yeah, we won't be there. We're gonna be.
They've made the news lately. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll be at Fadelberg tonight.
I hear you. I hear you.
Fayetteville.
I would like to go on record saying about that place. I know it was in the news earlier in the week, but I looked into it, and there was a couple of people who were patrons there that got charged. But the bar itself, the only thing they were charged with is one of the bartenders had overserved somebody.
No,
So I think they were a little harsh on that particular bar.
yeah, I didn't pay a lot. I saw.
I don't know.
It's-
Yeah, I played a-
It was one of those periodic raids that I used to participate in.
Yeah. I was going to say, I played there twice a month for the last 7 years. So I'm pretty familiar with the place.
That's
and the
right.
people
You're
that are in
talking
there,
about the
Riptides.
riptides. Yeah.
Right. And
Yeah.
the ones that got in trouble, everybody pretty much knows them around town as being,
Good people.
No,
well,
No.
they're not that they're bad people, but they're,
loose.
have substance abuse problems. call it
Oh,
that.
okay.
Gotcha.
All right.
And,
Okay.
and
I
everybody
gotcha.
knows that. So it was kind of like
Right.
fish in a barrel.
Yeah.
Um,
No big news. No
but they
big
did
news.
what they did,
Yep. Okay.
But yeah, so it really wasn't on the establishment so much. I
Okay.
think they
So let
kinda
me ask you: Is your
about
song
that.
tonight going to be cocaine?
What?
I never play that song. I don't like that song.
I don't
Is there
either.
a song
I
named
really- I-
Cocaine?
Yeah,
a
you
couple
have
of
never
songs
heard
have-
that? Really?
Yeah, by Eric Clapton.
Not that I know
Yeah.
of.
Oh,
I'll be honest with you. I don't like songs that have drug references.
I don't either.
I do them sometimes.
Right.
But I don't like doing them. A lot of times I'm around kids and I'll change the words.
Mhm.
And it's funny when a 10-year-old comes up and screams at me, "That ain't the way the song goes."
Oh my, really?
And I have had that, and I'm like, "Well,
Oh.
buddy, your mom and dad's over there, and I've got, I can't say that in this song. With, in front of your
Mhm.
mom and dad, would you hear?" Yeah, curse words are the same way. I'll
Right.
change the words in the song so that I
Right.
don't say the curse word
Yeah.
if there's a curse word in it.
I
Oh,
can
I
understand
see.
that.
Yeah, but at any rate, like I say, in that particular place, people bring their kids in there. I don't really recommend that in any place that serves, distilled spirits, but it's that kind of place. Got
Well,
great
some
food, great
places serve
atmosphere.
food, and this, they still got drinks with their food. It's not necessarily a bar. It's,
Right,
they got other stuff,
right.
as in the borough. I mean,
Right. The Borough is more of a restaurant that
It's a
serves
restaurant.
alcohol, and Rip House is more of a bar that serves food,
yeah, gotcha.
if I had to characterize it.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, sounds good. Steve, good luck with it.
But anyway,
Stay
I
warm.
just want to
Stay
throw that out there.
warm.
Y'all stay warm too.
I appreciate
Have a
it.
good
Thank you.
weekend.
If maybe we'll celebrate tomorrow night at the borough for
Yeah.
tonight's game. That'd be
We'll
good.
have to
Thing to
do
do.
That'd be
that.
awesome. That'd be awesome. Give you a little
Yeah.
pre-Christmas party there.
There you go. Got it. Take care.
All right, y'all have a good one.
You too.
You too.
Today's marine weather forecast, courtesy of Community Prevention Services of Jacksonville. Less than 2 weeks to shop, y'all. And maybe a whole lot less than 2 weeks if that weather pattern develops that the National Weather Service says could happen. So let's hop to it. We don't have all month. Christmas is going to be ruined. I hear people say, I can't afford to buy a lot of stuff. And I know that NB have everything in perfect order. So you and I might just suck at this Christmas thing. Some people feel that way. Some people look at going into the Christmas season, it's depressing because I can't do what I would like to be able to do. Some people rush around so much, other than Kelly, who starts shopping in June, pretty well wrapped up by August.
No, that's not true.
Oh, you always find extra stuff. I know that.
I've been busy. I just bought something while I was sitting right here.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
But it can be very stressful for folks,
Mhm.
especially if they wait
Yes.
to the last minute. And then they still think they got to go get this and this and this. And then they stop and buy anything they can find in a hurry just to start stuffing it. Oh, I got a bunch of stuff here. Let me put names on it. They don't buy it for somebody. They buy it in quantity. And
Yeah,
distribute it.
that's not the way to do it.
No.
Don't
It
do
needs
that.
to be it needs to be a
Correct.
frying pan, a titanium frying pan for a person like me.
Mhm.
I mean,
Correct.
what else?
You
What
buy
better
something-
gift could I
Mhm.
get that I won't return?
I would never buy something
Uh-huh.
I didn't think they could use or would use.
Or
I should say.
really
or would
wants.
like. Yes.
I mean,
I always ask people.
most of the stuff that I want, I buy
Mhm. Yeah.
throughout the year. Robbie does the same thing. I know
Oh,
by
I
the
do the
boxes
same
that come
thing,
in the
yeah.
door every day. But that's what she wants. And she buys a lot of stuff for the house. She buys stuff that I wouldn't have a clue what to buy.
Yeah.
But that's fine. She buys,
Mhm.
and like she just bought a big old chair that sits every critter in this house
Yeah.
at the same
Well,
time.
they all need to sit with their mama.
They
in that
do,
chair.
and they sit there.
Yeah.
They like it.
Yeah.
So it's a cool thing. I got a great picture of that.
Yes.
So
I saw that.
it's one of those things. But people who just get all entangled with this last minute shopping frenzy, you hurt yourselves, and it causes more than just physical ailments. It causes a lot of mental stress,
True.
and it's hard to get over, isn't it?
It is.
What and then I heard so many people say at noon on Christmas Day, "Oh, Christmas, thank God it's over. I don't have to worry about this until next year."
Well, see, I'm sad that people have that attitude because
But a lot of people do.
I know they do. Yes.
Because they're not satisfied with what they don't think they were able to do. Be satisfied with whatever you do.
Well,
right?
there's a lot of people that wake up alone in their house and don't
Yeah.
Yes.
have someone.
some people miss.
to
Some people have family
share.
members gone. Some people had bad memories.
It's Chris Marks.
And then
of
we also
childhood. Yeah.
Yeah. And there's just
then
some
we
people-
also have in this community we have so many people who are deployed.
Yeah.
So many spouses, males and females,
Yeah.
half of the family. They're in another part of the world,
Mhm.
and they're going to be alone, either
Mhm.
solely alone or with kids at home.
Yeah.
And still missing daddy or
right,
mama.
Mhm.
Right.
So that's tough. That's kind of
There's a
tough.
lot of
rough.
things the
Yeah.
holidays
if
can
you
get tough.
folks are feeling stressed, there's a great place you can call right here in Jacksonville to get a little assistance. They'll help you out. Community Prevention Services, they help you deal with complex issues. They do it year round. Christmas time is very depressing for a lot of folks.
It is.
So take advantage of their
Mhm.
opportunity. You don't have to drive to Wilmington, Goldsboro, to Raleigh, Greensboro, Charlotte, Asheville. You've got it right here. You got it. You're lucky to have this company right here. Community Prevention Services. Call them. Set up a time to meet. 910-353-0972. That's 910-353-0972. Offshore out to 20 nautical miles, northeasterly winds 15 to 20 knots today. Occasional gust to 25, 3 to 4 footers, occasionally up to 5. Sounds and rivers choppy for the weekend beginning tonight. There will be a small craft advisory issued that will last through Monday night. You'll need to make your plans accordingly. Be careful out there. Northeasterly winds tomorrow 20 to 25, increasing to 25 to 30 in the afternoon. Gusts up to 35. Need I say more? Seas are big. You could have some 9 footers. Near shore, 3 to 5 footers. Sounds and rivers rough, becoming very rough in the afternoon. Sunday, northeasterly winds 20 to 25. They will start to come down in the afternoon, thank goodness. Gusts, though, to 30 knots, 6 to 9 footers. Sounds and rivers still rough, diminishing to choppy in the afternoon.
Tonight, mostly cloudy, then it clears off. Low of 30. Tomorrow, sunny, high of 61, with 8 to 13 mile an hour winds generally and 20 mile an hour gusts. Tomorrow night, partly cloudy, low of 41. And then on Sunday, partly sunny, a high of 64. We're back to the whole gusty wind thing on Sunday. And Monday, it's going to be 70. I just can't. Tuesday, 73. Like
I've got to get some.
I'm
yard
telling
work.
you.
Christmas Eve going to be 73.
Well, we got a whole nother week because
that's right.
Wednesday it drops down into 60s. So what's happening?
Hey, Chris, you there?
I'm here. Only in North Carolina. Give it a day, 5 minutes, it'll change.
It will. Change. Yeah. Yep. What's up?
Anyway, loving the show.
Tomorrow is a big day.
Tomorrow is the big day. Thank you, Richard, for the lead-in. Tomorrow, 12 noon, Coastal State Veterans Cemetery, Montford Landing Road. And for those, that's right across from the Beirut Memorial. Starts at 12 noon. Is the ceremony to lay the wreaths. And wanted to call in again. First off, thank you to you three. Thank you for live and local Real Talk, for getting the word out to the many people here in the community, to other states, to other countries, where we've gotten people who have donated. And although we may be a little short, maybe, there's always hope. National will be able to make up the difference. We're only going to end up about 1,000 wreaths short. But, again, for a military town, we should be embarrassed, but
I agree with that.
We won't be next year. Just wait till next year,
No,
Coach.
we won't.
Just wait till next year.
Well, I've got good news on that. I've also got some good news about what's happening tomorrow. Besides the Cardinals, we'll be celebrating the victory.
Yay.
Starting tomorrow through 17th, to get a head start on next year already. So we've gone ahead and we're just starting now or tomorrow. The 3 for 2 program through Wreaths Honoring Our Fallen Veterans. If you order 3 for 2 between tomorrow, December 14th, and January 17th, December 31st, and it is postmarked, the check is written between those dates, it will still be honored.
Oh, good.
The 3 for 2.
And did you say that's through the 17th or through the 31st?
I'm sorry, it's through the 31st.
Okay, so all of January too. Got him.
Yeah.
So we got 6 weeks to do that.
Yeah. So we'll have a head start on next year. We also, I don't want to go too far in advance, so we'll say that we do have a bike run scheduled for next year that's going to help raise some money for the specific group that I oversee. And just the last part is very important. At the cemetery, because this word hasn't gotten out, we'll pick up the wreaths that are there
on January 17th.
Oh, okay.
So should someone have a family member, the wreath should still be in fairly good shape with the weather. You need to get it before the 17th of January.
Gotcha. Okay, I got a suggestion. Over this
Yeah.
coming 6 weeks period of time, which is what it's going to be for 3 for 2, once a week, write a check, $34, and get it sent. I mean, $34 a week, how many is that? That would be times 3 wreaths. That would be a whole bunch of wreaths that you'd be buying. That would be
And
great.
I do. Oh, it would be. You know, you're talking about Christmas gifts.
Yep.
You know, the shopping and things like that. It'd be wonderful if you remembered somebody else.
Yes.
I think all the 3 of us on this conversation. I can't remember if you said you had some family in there or distant family. But the Lee, Kelly, myself, we have family in there. If you knew somebody that had military in there, what a better gift than to honor their relative with a wreath.
Yep.
You know,
I don't have anybody. I don't have anybody in the cemetery. I've got my relatives are in other cemeteries here, but they are veterans. So and down in Wilmington.
but I want to thank you 3 because each of you individually donated, and for those businesses, those politicians that didn't make a donation this year, I will be seeing you face to face again next year until you get tired of seeing me.
Yep.
And for those that did, thank you. And I want to say one last thing. Thank you to everybody that donated because you are the people that made it happen.
Yeah, one wreath at a time.
You folks made it happen. And without you, there'll be 600 less
Wow.
wreaths out there.
Wow. Cool.
So
Thank you for what you're doing, sir. As always.
it's my pleasure. And I'll be seeing you 3 before the holiday.
Okay.
I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah.
See you
Oh, yeah.
tomorrow,
Come on.
Chris.
All right.
I'll be there.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Put
Chris.
my
All
wreaths out.
All right. So yeah.
Richland's Christmas Parade. We'll see you tomorrow.
There you go.
And Wreaths Across
I'll
America.
be at Wreaths Across
Yeah,
America on my,
Wreaths
for my
Across
father-in-law.
America.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kelly, we'll see each other there. And
I'll
Lee,
see you
we'll
there.
see you there.
Yep.
All right. You take care.
Okay.
Bye. And not sure who this caller is because I didn't take a look.
It's Robert. He
Hey,
called
Robert.
earlier.
Hey,
What's
Robert.
up?
What's up?
Good morning, Rayford, Lee, and Kelly. Talking about a story about the firewood or the fireplace. In 1989, we had that bad storm. So what happened was, of course, our fireplace was going, and the power somehow went out, and somehow a piece of wood that was in the fireplace banged up against my glass window and cracked it. So I had to find me a piece of metal to put across it.
Oh, no.
And we all stayed in the living room, staying warm.
Wow.
I'll never
That was
forget
a-
that year. It was,
That was a year.
That was a fun year.
and didn't it snow again like a week after that? Added a little bit more to the pile.
Who could tell?
I remember it snowed again.
And right now, I price different places that are selling wood. They want like $150 for half a cord. And all that
Yes,
kind
I
of
know.
stuff. Man, that's expensive.
Well, I say is
Take it to my
everyone
furniture and start breaking it up.
as everybody's cleaning the yards this week and go ahead and get all those twigs and little pieces of
Yeah.
tree branches
Well,
that have fallen.
I had some branches to fall off one tree yesterday.
Yeah, and so just go
And I've
ahead
already-
and start
I've
getting them
already
ready.
picked some of them up. I got to get the rest of them today.
And I took your advice, Reeford, about the cardboard. I've been using a little bit of cardboard. That helps a lot if I can't find kindling.
Yep, it's really
Yes,
good stuff.
it
Good way to do
is.
it. Great way to recycle, as far as I'm concerned.
Yep, I agree. I agree,
So you have a
Rayford.
nice day, and talk to you next time.
All right, you
All
take
right,
care, Robert.
Thanks, Robert.
My family says hello to you.
All right.
Hello,
Hello to the
Kathy.
whole
Hello, Elizabeth.
family. Yeah, everybody.
And one evening, I'm going to come by your house and check out your lights. I come by a Piney Green a lot, and I look down your street, and I see your lights are out there. I'm going to come up the block one day and look at it.
All right,
Yeah,
there
you're
you can
just
do
right
that.
around the corner.
I've
You
got
need
to. I got to replace fuses. My star went out last night, and
Oh,
I found out when I
no.
got home that the star was dead. So
See, I told you.
there's something. There's always something. But anyway, I've got to go get those 2 little fuses, tiny little things. I checked them last night. That's what it is. Anyway, we got it. All
All right, you'll take care.
right, you,
You
too.
too,
Bye.
Robert.
Oh my.
And then you get a fuse like that, and then you're right. They're so tiny, and then you drop it, and you're like,
I know.
so aggravating.
Oh my God! You need to get about 10 fuses to take out there with you to that thing. So when you
Yes.
take them out, you're going to drop 1 or 2 or 3,
Yes.
and then if y'all don't know how to do it, be careful. But you can check those fuses while everything's still plugged in. There are 2 of them in there. You do it with the voltmeter. Doesn't have to be anything fancy. You can do it with the voltmeter just to check and see if the voltage is getting through or not. Okay. If it's not, that's the fuse. Hello, that's your clue. If it is, then go to the other one. And, for one reason or another, something's out on that strand, and I've got it all the way back to the 2 fuses. So I will check those now that the daylight is here when it warms up just a little bit.
Now that they make the LED, they're so much easier because you can have one bulb go out and the rest stay lit. But you remember back in the day when you had
Yes, one went out, you had nothing.
Those big
Yes.
bulbs,
one whole line
what we
would
call
round.
big bulbs today, about
Yes.
3 inches long, 2 to 3 inches long. There were 7 lights. That's all they would have
It's making a
on one
comeback.
strand. One strand with 7 lights. And you always had to have a whole handful of bulbs, because when it goes out, you have to unscrew them one at a time and put one that you know is good in it. Okay, that didn't work. Go
Then
to the
go
next
back
one.
to the
You don't
next
replace it. You
Yeah.
just move to the next one and keep going.
Right.
Rayford, do you remember my dad called them the snowball light bulbs? You know what I'm talking about? Like,
Yep.
those are awesome.
Yep.
I think if I go to my mom's attic, I bet I'll still find them because I can't find them now.
Well,
Those
you know,
I don't even think they make
The
them.
ones used back
They
in the
were cute.
70s, 80s, that they were the big bulb and they were different colors.
Yes.
And like you were saying, there's only so many on a string.
7.
They're making a comeback.
Yep. But probably coming
Can you
back
believe
as
that?
LEDs, though, right?
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah.
I like an LED.
I like the
Yes.
big LEDs, not for the tree inside, but for the
They'll
trees,
blind ya.
anything outside. No, well,
Look.
you don't need them inside.
I have
those
them on my
tiny-
tree inside, but they're the soft lighting LEDs.
Well, I
What-
put an LED
Soft.
light bulb in my bathroom, and that thing is amazing.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I
Oh
got
my
that.
goodness,
I've
that's awesome.
replaced
For light
You can
most
you can
every-
actually see in there now.
I know. It's
For anything that you want to light up outside, you know what? I want y'all to think about. It's dark out
Mhm.
there. It's dark,
Yeah.
and there's nothing for the light to reflect off of. A lot of folks in flotillas make a mistake about lighting their little trees or whatever they got on their boat, or lighting their boat up with all of these LEDs. They're tiny. First of all,
They
don't
are,
put
yeah.
out that
I agree
much
with that.
light on a boat, because most of the light is sucked up by black. You black sky, black water, black
think about
everything.
that,
It
yeah.
doesn't
Yeah.
do it. You can take inside this room at
Mhm.
nighttime a very small, what we used to call a pin light, a small flashlight, one
Yeah.
little bulb,
Yeah.
total dark in here, and aim it at the ceiling, and a reflection will light up this entire room. Try at your house sometime.
What?
Just a
I told
small
you.
light. Don't aim the flashlight at what you want to aim it at the ceiling, and let your light.
Let's see what it does.
You will have a nice, even lit room.
Okay, Harry Potter. All right.
I tell you,
No,
it's just
you,
like
you do that because you don't have to get
Yeah.
something really bright at one little spot. Now you may be trying to find a screw or something. You got to do that, but in the dark of night outside, what do you have to make that reflection happen? Zero,
Yeah.
nothing.
True.
The moon. If you can bounce it off the moon, you can get it, but that's not going to happen.
Right.
But that's why you need the big old light bulbs. The brighter, the better, and the bigger, the better. Okay, what else we got?
Well, I just happened to see this. It popped up on my screen yesterday. The governor and the governor-elect filed a lawsuit against the GOP over that gubernatorial veto thing they did the other day. They are mad as heck over
Oh,
it.
that's because it took
babies.
some
They
power
lost.
away
I think
from the
they're
governor.
saying because it took the power away. Yeah.
It was on the issue on that was where the governor is the one that appoints the board of elections.
Oh, hold on. No. Let me interrupt. Wednesday's lawsuit filed in Wake County Superior Court challenges a small part of the law that makes the Highway Patrol an independent agency.
right. I was going to get to
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Wait a minute. Allowing the state legislature to vote down Stein's picks to lead the agency and effectively
Right.
forcing him to pick a Highway Patrol leader who would actually answer to the lawmakers, not the governor. I didn't even know that was even in there because I haven't really read the law.
I'm not completely jazzed about that part.
Yeah, I agree with you on
I,
that.
I think there needs to be somebody other than I know the governor's elected,
Well,
but somebody other than a bunch of individuals, our state representatives who are elected every 2 years, they come
Yeah.
and they go, and that out of willy-nilly, they can go through and ram a bill through and change things.
Yeah.
That's, I don't, because the highway patrol needs to be as stable as it can be.
I
The state
agree.
law
Yeah.
enforcement needs to be that way. Now, while we're on that topic, one of the things they did not do that the GOP should have done
Mhm.
is to include North Carolina Marine Patrol and the Division of Marine Fisheries. Division of Marine Fisheries, that division is run by a group of appointed people appointed by the governor.
I don't know how I feel about that.
I don't like that.
Yeah, I don't either.
He appoints
Because
who
they're
he
going to
wants.
appoint their
And
cronies.
then it can become very, oh, well, let's just say if I was the governor and I was going to do all that appointing, I would saturate that.
But people, your friends or people you.
I wouldn't know. I'd
they think
saturate
like
it with recreational fishermen who
Yeah.
do it a lot,
yeah.
because right now it's saturated with commercial fish. Yes, they're important. They're extremely important. I don't want to be eating foreign seafood for one thing, so we need good commercial fishing in North Carolina.
Mhm.
It needs to be regulated. Oh, yeah, it needs to be regulated. Not completely at the exclusion of the recreational side, which sometimes gets to be the case. In other words, when they close the flounder season, sometimes that flounder season stays open for the commercial guys.
Oh, okay. I didn't, like I said, I just work too much apparently. So I didn't know this other bill. So more lawsuits are expected to come in the next couple of days. I guess this bill also takes away the governor of elections. I did know
Yes,
that.
That's
But
what
I
That
did
was
not
the-
know
Yes.
commission as well as his ability to fill certain judicial vacancies. I didn't know the governor. I don't know where I've been
Yeah, it's
that
always
they-
been that way. But
with the Utilities Commission. How did I not
you
know
know
that?
how the president, like President-elect Trump right now, is going ahead and picking his staff.
Yes.
And he's also going ahead and picking people he wants to take over certain things. That's just the way the state does. And
Yeah.
what the Republicans did in the state is they threw that in that bill, which was a bill for aid to the people in the western part of the state, and they added to it. And what they're doing is they're taking away the powers of the governor on those things that you were talking about, where he makes the decision.
Yes, exclusively.
Because they say it's all political appointments. Well, my thing is, if you give it to the state legislators to do and to vet,
It's
and
gonna
to,
be-
Do the same thing.
you don't think that's not going to be political?
it's all
right.
political.
I-
Yep.
yeah, I mean, you know, and the governor appointed me to the state, developmental disability, mental health, and substance abuse commission, and we review all rules about mental health, developmental abilities, disabilities, and substance
And
abuse.
he
for the
obviously
state
did
and
not
governor.
do that based
He
upon
didn't, based on my
politics.
politics, because y'all know I'm not even the same political party as him.
Mhm.
And I was nominated by someone outside of this county at an ABC board, actually. That I don't even know who they are, but they knew who I was. But I mean, clearly that was not a political move because I am not a Democrat.
I think that a lot of the so-called political appointees are not as politically motivated. The governor's not as politically motivated as a lot of people think he is. And I think that the Highway Patrol still needs to have a single person to respond to, not a group. That I don't see that. Yes, the state legislature, they can have questions, and they can challenge some of the things that
I
come in.
agree,
They
Rayford.
can appeal. I mean, they can subpoena the colonel of the Highway Patrol to come in. It's not just the Highway Patrol. That this thing works all the way up to the Attorney General.
And something popped in my head. If you start letting the lawmaker, that's what I'm gonna call them, do this, there's a lot of PACs out there,
Yep.
and these PACs
They're very
are
influential.
powerful
Very
and
influential.
very well funded, and that becomes, in my opinion, almost dangerous to have these people in the ear of Senator Rayford or, House Representative Lee. You know what I mean? Like they,
Not
you know what I'm saying?
happening.
Like this, I don't think I do like the fact that they want the
Well, see, the thing
legislation
about it
now.
is,
Oh no, I don't like this at all.
but you look at the other side. What difference is it the governor do it, and or our state legislators
Yeah.
doing it?
Well,
Everything is
Agree,
political.
but I don't know that the
Here-
PACs
here-
get to the governor more than they do these legislators.
Here's a problem. We've said it. I've said it, and people in a lot of businesses have said it forever.
Mhm.
Ruling by committee is the worst thing in the world.
Yeah.
When you've got to get a committee to approve everything.
And you can't ever look
It
at how many
ain't
things
gonna
I'm getting
happen.
done, Lee. Yeah.
But one thing that is good about it is if it's up to the state legislators, they all have to vote on it. So it's just
How
not-
much
and-
So how much is
legislation
gonna
up
get
there
done?
has never been voted on?
A whole
They
lot.
can't get
When it
out
comes
of
to
committee.
We're still in
When it comes to appointments, they move those.
When was the
those
last
move.
time we executed somebody?
Well, that's
well, look at the problems we have with vaping. Yet in North Carolina,
Right.
the law to purchase tobacco products and vaping is still 18.
Uh-huh.
Federally, it's 21. But our North Carolina legislature and that's been 2 years, still had. And I keep asking our local representative, when are y'all going to change this? When are you going to change this?
Oh, I heard our
Crickets.
state senator
Crickets.
referred to on a meeting that I watched last night from a couple days ago as Stephen Lazara. I'm like, what?
Oh, they got his name wrong.
How could you get your own senator's name wrong that you know? Stephen Lazara. And I went, what?
Oh wow,
Well,
that's just maybe it was an oversight.
I just had to throw that
I
in there,
agree,
but-
and that aid bill to the western part of the state should have been its own thing.
Yeah, it should have been, but
That
it
should have been
will
the only
never-
thing. And shame on the Republicans and the whoever else threw that mess in there. Shame on all of you.
Both
That
parties
should-
do
yeah,
it. It depends on who has control.
That should have been.
And-
That should have been its own bill.
they
You
do
can
things-
get, in order to get the support for a bill like that, that's why they add in
should
all
never
that
be
other
allowed.
garbage.
Why would you have
True.
to even worry about getting support to
It's the way
to
it works.
fund our
Well, we'll
citizens?
change the way it works. It can be changed.
Yeah, you can go change every one of those senators and representatives' mind and,
Well, you
and get
change
it.
it by voting their butts
You
out
know?
of office. That's
It'll
what
never
you do.
happen, though. That'll never happen. You know, it's never going to happen.
I don't know. Look at the Democrat Party nationally as a whole after what happened in the election. They're all
Oh,
scrambled. They're trying to revamp. You get enough
Uh,
attention.
Republican
people will
Party
change
went
their
through the same
mindset.
thing 4 years ago when Trump
Not-
did not become
but
president.
not to this degree.
They fell apart.
Well, I think they were falling apart way before that, but I'm just saying, and I am a Republican saying that. so.
They became very divisive. They had so many smaller groups break out.
it's okay. My group's going to
That's
leave here
happening
soon.
even here locally.
Well,
What are
I
you
think they
talking
need to
about?
make the unaffiliated a registered
I agree.
party.
I'd join it.
Well, the problem is if it's a registered party, then we're not unaffiliated anymore.
That's true too. Good point.
You
Yeah.
are
Yeah, I like
still an unaffiliate.
I thought about becoming.
You can still vote for anybody you want to. They ought to make it make it a registered party and give you your choice on what ballot you want during
Now,
the primary.
that would be the only way that I
Yep.
would support
Oh,
that.
it's Theo.
It's Theo.
Theo.
We got 2 minutes.
Theo.
I gotta go at 9.
Hello, Theo. How are you?
Thank you.
Are you there?
Theo.
Yeah, I'm there.
Okay.
Can you talk?
Yeah,
Yeah.
got you.
What's up?
Kelly, you're right. Those Republicans, right? Did you know that the governor of North Carolina is the weakest governor in 50 states because of the supermajority, what they're doing to the governor,
Yep.
trying to get his power away by the 31st before they go out to weaken him. Why are you weakening somebody that was chosen by the people to govern this state? Why are they doing?
Both sides do it.
No, they don't.
Once again,
Okay.
Leo, we agree.
I don't. Yeah.
Listen, the redistricting in this state, Georgia used to be one of the most corrupt states in the South, and now North Carolina is running pretty close to first. Okay?
You should run for
Crooked.
governor.
Do it, Theo. I'll vote for you.
All right.
Run for
So that's the
run for
story.
representative. We'll work your campaign.
I will. I'll vote
The
for you.
help for the people in the western part should have been all together
Yes.
by itself.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And Rayford, you were
will
talking
never
about
see a
that
bill
too.
like that.
When they were doing the reform for immigration reform, and you said they should have just kept the bill by itself.
Absolutely.
And that.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I agree.
That's what they should have done.
I agree. That's what they should
North
do, but that's not
Carolina
the way
has
it
the
works.
weakest governor out
I
of
think it's
50
wrong.
states. That's how bad it is. Okay?
Well, I think every one of our state legislators should be absolutely ashamed of themselves for making this crazy bill and not making that Western Recovery Aid its own thing.
Well, the
Shame
good
on
thing
them.
is they are getting
Exactly.
the aid, the western part of the state. Thank
Just because
goodness.
they do it doesn't mean we have to do it every time. Be a little different. You don't have to be. We live in North Carolina. Show us you're a little different than we do it all the time.
Yep.
Okay?
Absolutely.
So,
I agree with that statement.
you're going to the parade tomorrow night?
Yes. I'm
Well,
driving
you
Robin
don't have
in
a
it.
float, do you?
No.
Robin does. I'll be driving
You
Robin.
didn't have a boat in the flotilla. You guys just don't do anything anymore, do
We
you?
suck.
we don't.
Yeah, we suck.
You're so
I was
boring.
sick. Yeah.
We just have so much else going on. We all have things.
We're still reorganizing, Theo, and
Yes.
we're trying just as hard as we can. But
How long is this going to take?
I don't know. I can't answer a question. How long is a piece of string? I don't know.
Are
Yeah.
you and I going to make it?
Hopefully
Yeah.
by
I
the
don't
first
know.
of
I
the
don't know
year.
about me. You will. You might.
All right, don't leave me alone here now.
I'll just take you with me. You better watch out.
You better not cry.
Theo, are you going to be at the parade tomorrow night?
Yes.
All right, wave and holler. Robin will be. I'll be driving Robin's truck. He'll be in the back, being cold. I'll be inside, being warm.
Throw them in the back.
Yeah.
You mean Commissioner Robin?
Yes.
Robin.
Robin will be there. Yes.
All right.
So you're gonna have a
Well,
step
maybe
stool?
we'll see you tomorrow night.
I almost
I'll
launched
keep
him
my eyes
out.
open.
Yeah.
What kind of car you got?
It'll be his. What color is his truck? Gray.
What?
He's got a gray Canyon,
Yeah.
just like my truck,
GMC
only it's
Canyon.
different color.
And I'm gonna have it. It'll be decorated because it's required to have lights on it and stuff. He just.
All
don't-
right, good.
Yeah, he don't know what I'm doing to his truck yet. But
So at the
he'll be all
game
right.
tonight,
Let's
you need
paint
a
it.
special ticket?
Yeah, you have to buy a ticket, a entry ticket for that school.
Just like any other
like
ball game.
just a ticket. Yeah.
But you can't buy it at the place.
You probably can buy it at the gate. They didn't specify
I
that
don't
you
know.
couldn't,
I don't know.
but I know the website sells cut off at 7:30 tonight.
Come on up
so.
to Fayetteville.
Well, what,
Yeah, come to Fayetteville.
Come on.
You want us to be
Wait
here?
sit with them.
You can sit right with us, please.
Did you see, Rayford, did you see anything on Syria?
I
I
saw.
saw.
you
Yeah,
were-
I did. I saw something. I saw some quite a bit of stuff on Syria with Assad gone. Chicken out, and he went to Russia.
Yeah,
and-
that's what I mean. These people, these rich people, can get asylum. They can go anywhere they want. After they did the damage in their countries, everybody they got open arms for asylum, and their families won't be separated. And yet, the people that they were governing, did you see how many that prison? What they were doing, torturing their own people and everything.
Yes.
That's why people leave their countries.
It's been
Because they're no good. Their leaders are no good, and they got to get out of there before they get caught in jail and they get tortured and get killed. Women were crying that they didn't know where their husbands and their fathers, and they haven't seen them for 10 and 12 years.
Yep.
This
One
is
of-
the country that it was. You expect people to stay in there?
Let me-
That's why people leave their countries.
Let me give you a little history too about Syria. That thing has been going on for over 50 years. The Assad regime has been going on not with him, but with his family members. He just took over. It was handed down from generation to generation. That is one of the biggest problems in the world. That's one of the. I'm glad the Kennedy thing did not happen. I'm glad the Bush thing ended. Thank God. We do not need it handed down from generation to generation in the same family. Period.
That's why I'm trying to tell you, some of these people are desperate. They're leaving their countries for all kinds of reasons. They come to America because the land of opportunity, and now you're going to put them in cages and send them to countries, in some countries they didn't come from. How do we do things like that, Rayford? How do we sleep at night?
I don't think that we're seeing a whole lot of what you're talking about. Yes, there will be some that we will grant asylum to, that we will allow to stay in this country, but there are so many of them out there, Theo. You know it. I know it. My God, I know it better than you know it, of course, but that are out here doing nothing but killing our Americans. That is what their intention is.
Come on,
When they are
Rayford,
doing
come
that.
on.
And
You're
I'm not.
talking about women and children that came over here that were desperate to get out of those countries. If we have criminals, that's where you got these law enforcement. Grab them and put them in jail. We're talking about he's going to ship people and split families, Rayford.
Uh-huh.
They're not all criminals, okay?
No, but they came here. What are you going to do? How are you going to stop it?
You do an asylum reform. Do you remember what Bush did when the Cubans were coming over? When the Cubans were coming over back in 2004, 2005, they were dying and the boats were overturning.
Yep.
But whoever survived, he gave them a path to citizenship. After 5 years here, you would be able to get a citizenship paper. That's how you do it. But show America with the world what America is all about, and we care about people.
And
You
those,
can't call yourself the Bible Belt and be sending people and keeping people in cages and all that stuff. You
And those-
can't do that.
and
It's
those,
not proper.
and those were the human migration. If you will recall, also Fidel at that point in time, he also decided to let me ship some of our mental patients and some of our criminals over. There was an effort there. We intercepted that. We were smart enough to be able to put a stop to that. The difference between the Mexican and the southern border of the United States with Mexico and our coastal borders is the Coast Guard does a very good job.
Mhm.
It's a lot tougher to get ashore into our country along the shoreline because the Coast Guard is there in force and they're doing a very good job. The problem with Mexico, there's such a wide open 2,000 miles of open territory that anybody can walk across. They don't have to get boats and whatever to get here.
You need asylum reform. Get to it. All right?
Okay,
The
I
sooner the better.
don't know what it would be. I don't know how you would work it. But if you got a plan, put it together.
I got a lot of plans. Nobody's listening.
Well, get out there and be a part of it
You
then.
just get yourself elected. Whoops. Well, I'll support you
It's so
if you want to
easy.
run.
It's so easy for everyone to say they shouldn't do this and they shouldn't do that, and people should vote them out. But I don't see anybody getting their butts off the couch and going and being a part of it. So,
Yeah.
but I understand what you're saying, Theo.
Okay.
Theo,
So,
if you
I'll talk to you next week.
if you
Okay.
go if you happen to go to the ball game tonight, please look us up. We'll be up near the top of the bleachers on the visitor
You
side.
do know it's in Fayetteville.
Where?
Fayetteville.
Oh, in Fayetteville.
Yeah.
I thought it was
kinda-
here.
No,
it's
not this one.
Fayetteville.
Oh, no, that I won't be going.
Fayetteville.
Okay, well, we'll be there anyway, so we'll just cheer us on.
Right.
All right.
Thank you.
All right.
Take it easy.
Yeah, do too. Have a good
Talk to you
weekend.
Monday.
Bye.
And real quick before we
Yes.
leave for the day, Curtis has been commenting and he's listening to us from
Good.
Carolina Beach this morning.
Curtis.
Yeah, so
Which
Curtis, I hope you're having a great time.
Curtis, do I know you? I don't know.
You know
do
Curtis.
I do know Curtis?
Yes, you
I
do.
wonder how many Curtises I know down there.
Probably a lot. No, he's from Jacksonville.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Richlands. He usually is the one that gives us accident reports on the
Oh, yeah,
bypass
yeah,
in the
yeah, yeah.
mornings.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So, but he wanted to say hello and
I
let
so
you know.
wanted the other night to whatever night I went out to Mike's farm and came home. That
Yes.
was Wednesday. I really that 5.5 miles of backed up traffic, which I haven't read anything about anywhere else. I'm the only one that said anything. I wish I was in the media at that time. I really wish I had some source that I could have put this out over the radio the other night, because there were people out there in that line of traffic that
Right.
needed some information. And they had no place to get it because nobody was doing anything. Nobody is live.
Yeah, and this is a lot of the reason why
was
that area,
irritating.
I like the commissioner meetings. I'd rather sit at home and watch them live than
Take the back roads or something else.
even the back roads, because you still have to go down Gum Branch.
Give me a helicopter.
Yeah, I
No,
know
I
it.
can't say that. I can't do helicopters. I did one.
Not anymore.
I did one more than I've ever wanted
Yes.
to do. But so
And go cards tonight.
go Cards. We'll see you tonight. If you go to the ball game tonight, and I hope every one of you do, come up. Say hey, we're down
That's
there.
right. We'll be there.
You'll see us. We'll be wearing these
Rayford,
red
you would take your
shirts, and
picture.
I'll be
Yeah.
having a camera out there, and I'll be shooting pictures. I'll be up in the bleachers. I don't go down sidelines and interfere with Chris and all those other
Right.
guys.
Right.
So Chris and his family going to be there tonight too.
Yes, yes. Very nice.
All right.
Very nice.
We'll see you on Monday morning.
Right.
Do we have anybody scheduled as yet?
Oh, not for Monday yet.
We got the commissioner's corner on what, Tuesday?
Tuesday. Where's everybody been? All these
I don't
people I've
know.
been calling.
I don't know. We're going to try. We got to try. I got 2 or 3 things in the works here trying
We
to get
need
some
to
folks
get
in
our
here.
senator in here so he
And I
can
will go
set
ahead
y'all
and put up
straight.
the official, which senator?
Our
Lazara?
state senator.
Okay, we need to get
straighten
him
y'all
in.
out.
We'll get Senator Lazara in, and we shall get, we might even go for a couple of U.S. senators. I know we'll get Senator
Wait,
Tellis in.
Yes.
We'll
We
have
could
him
get him.
chatting with him one day shortly.
I need to get up with our congressman because I want him to get the other congressman to call in. That we were talking about this past week.
Jim?
Yes.
Yeah, I'd like to have him up here. We need to chat.
Yeah,
We'll chat with him
somebody-
again. When you talk to Dr. Murph, just tell him that, yes, I did under his predecessor who arranged an interview and brought
Right.
that one down here.
But
I'd like
that's
to have
how
him
I
again.
met Jim Jordan because Walter brought him down
Yep,
here
he did.
several times.
Yep.
And I mean, I've sat right at a table and talked to him. And ever since then, I've been a Jim fan, a
Yep,
Jim Jordan
like it.
fan.
I liked him before then, and of course, since Walter Jones, Representative Jones at the time, he asked me personally, called me, said, "Is there any way? I know you don't do anything except live," and I said, "For you, absolutely. And if your special request is for
Right.
Congressman Jordan, and the only time he can do it is yada yada, I'll be there."
That's right.
So,
Oh, yes.
one and done, not a problem.
Yes.
I can make exceptions to my rules.
Yes. I've always
Seldom,
been a fan. I
but-
mean, I've always liked him.
Right? It went very well.
And you can know with Jim Jordan's on a committee, and he said in the committee it's going to be
It's interesting
very interesting.
and kind of like full of fire.
A lot of
and
vinegar,
brimstone.
yeah, and
Yeah,
fire and
I was going to say the
brimstone.
other two, but it didn't.
Yeah.
All right,
I can stop.
let's go out and support this person's this guy, person of the year,
Yes.
President-elect Donald J.
Trump.
Trump, selected by Time Magazine. I'm not sure that I would have picked him as the man of the year or person of the year, but most of the people they picked over the years, I wouldn't have picked anyway. Have a great rest of your day. Go Cards. We'll
you.
see you on Monday morning. Be safe this weekend. Put a few logs on the fire until it warms up. Bye.